I asked, how was your Friday, Jamaica? But tonight, Jamaica, the more I speak and the more I look, the more I watch and the more I observe, I can come to the conclusion that there really exist several Jamaicas. Not two Jamaica, several Jamaica. I say that in light and in context of a pressing matter in Western Jamaica. A pressing matter in Western Jamaica. What are you talking about, teacher? Some time ago, we heard Senator Don Webby saying that if the indiscipline continues in track and field, he's threatening Jamaica to pull the resources from the ISA Boys and Girls Championships. But Jamaica, are you aware of how the children, the athletes, several Western students are disadvantaged? Disadvantaged because several years now, the Western Stadium is closed. Several years now, Jamaica. The Western Stadium is closed. Several years now. But Jamaica, I am not sure if you are aware. Until the philosophy that holds one superior and another, Jamaica. Remember, if it is closed, the children are disenfranchised and disadvantaged. And if the children are disadvantaged, it means that they will live a life possibly of crime, a life of delinquency, a life of doing wrongs. And these social agents, such as track and field and sports, a lot of young people in Western Jamaica are disadvantaged because the stadium is closed. Not even Western Champs was able to keep the proper and efficient way. But let me say tonight, Jamaica, are you aware that there was racing Jamaica, racing go on the track?
Don't go and get back the front.
Play it again, you know, because I'm going to pay a judgment tonight. On a call boxing.
Don't go and get back the front.
Babsy! So, Grandma Babsy, come here, Babsy. Mama Babsy, come here. Mama Babsy, come here. Babsy! Come here. Babsy Grange. We ain't find a picture of Babsy, no man. Find a picture, me sweet, me good. My good producer. Find a picture, me ask her some questions. Babsy! Me gonna ask her some questions tonight. I'm going to rub them out. So the track Jamaica closed for the athlete them were prescribed for. The track closed for the prescribed training, but the track, I'm going to say it again. Make that sink in, Babsy. The track closed, Babsy. The track closed for the athlete them, but it's open for the people in my ATL. Because say it again, Jamaica. The track closed to the thousands of athletes in Western Jamaica. Babsy Grange. But it's open for 2 man. For do what, Babsy Grange? For drive and put race car. Jamaica, honestly, the inequality in this country. I go and play a voice note tonight. I go and play a voice note tonight for Babsy.
I was contacted by Good Productions and also a promo company out of England to do a photo shoot music video for an artist called Stylo G. We met at ATL inside of the showroom, did the promo shoot there, and then they came to me and asked me if I would go down by the stadium to do the same. When I arrived there, to my surprise, I saw that they had access to the actual track and field area. Again, it did take me by surprise, but knowing that no track and field has been actually placed on this complex for over 5 years, I did not doubt what they were telling me to say that they had access to this area, and I was to drive around the car very slowly around the track just for part of the final of the promo video. This I did. Again, I'm stating that I only was driving around in first gear. Both of the cars were driving very slow. And after the 2 laps, the car was then put on record and it was now taken back to the garage. Again, I'm also stating that I had no knowledge of this being something that was illegal because 3 gates, and I repeat, 3 gates had to be unlocked to have access to the track. So for this to happen, there's nothing that came in my mind to say that this was now something that was being done illegally or any malice was being done at the time. So my apologies for what had happened, but again, I had no knowledge of this, and this again is to my surprise. And this is coming from Doug Gore and all of his sponsors related to the 2 cars that were driven on the track.
Doug Gore, a big name that, you know. Doug Gore, Jamaica, Doug Gore. Big name that in a ATL, you know. Doug Gore. Yeah, the man said the 3 gates were open for him to enter. The man said, Jamaica, the 3 gates, so Babsy, are you open the gate or the mayor? I'm a be. Are you or the mayor? I'm a be facilitate the gate open for the race car uptown man then? Are you open the gate, Babsy, or the mayor? Show the mayor face to win. Are you or the mayor open the gate? And thousands of picnic, thousands of athletes, gate can't open for them train 5 years now. 5 years, Babsy. The gate can't open in a Western Stadium. But it open for the photo shoot. It open for the promotion. 3 gate open. 3 gate open, Jamaica. 3 gate open. And you are tell me, say, this cruel. Me want to ask the mayor, I'm going to be here tonight. Are you in charge? You in charge, mayor, I'm going to be here for Western Stadium. Who give the authorization for the gate open? It's not open for the track and field athlete. It's 5 years now, Jamaica. 5 years now, it's not open for the athlete them. But because them name Gore, because them name Shutunga, ATL and Bugum, Jamaica, only see the kind of inequality in this country. And when them done, them talk about the indiscipline of the athletes, and now them want threaten to take away. But rather than them enhance and put the social and sporting programs in place for these young athletes, them lock down 5 years now, Jamaica. 5 years. And you ever tell me, say, we fi keep them in? You ever tell me, say, we fi keep them in when they have entrenched, when they have sink, when they have eroded, evaded, neglected, ostracized, alienated thousands of children, athletes, coaches in Western Jamaica. But a man with money was able to put him race car Jamaica. His race cars he was able to put on the track field. And I am sure, had it been athletes that possibly jumped over the fence, trying to train, them would have locked them up. They would have called municipality police on them. They would have called the police in Western Jamaica to lock them up, Jamaica. That's what I am saying to my nation tonight. Those near, far, wide, in the diaspora and in my country. It's enough. It's enough. I'm tired of it, Babsy. I'm tired of the inequality. I'm tired of the nepotism, the cronyism, the corruption, and the favoritism. When Western Stadium I got open, 5 years it locked now, Babsy. Me not hear you put no plans in place for open back Western Stadium. And what you gonna do with Western Stadium, Babsy? And what you gonna do? Turn one next white elephant again? Hey, Babsy, I wanna do, man. Me not think that sports is one of the main economic drivers for the wealth creation in Jamaica. So how stadium a lock up? How stadium a lock up? How stadium a lock up? How young people are being ostracized and alienated from the space that they need to go and train. Think about that, Olivia Babsy Grange. Think about that. Think about the message. Think about the message, Olivia Grange. Think about the message. Think about the message, Olivia Grange, when I send to the whole heap of poor people in this country. Think about that. Thousands can't get access. But man with big name, big title. Think about it. Tired down, Babsy. We're tired down. You, the mayor of Mobile, all of us should be held responsible for this neglect of duties. Jamaica tired down, man. Tired down. Tired down, Babsy. I don't know when wrong content. Tired of you. Tired of you. Tired down. Tired down. Make that sink in tonight. How much months now? 5 years. I know no big friend them can go in a one day to go run race commercial, pandelat, and people in this country can't get access to use the stadium. I'm tired down now. I'm tired down now, Jamaica. Jamaica is tired of it. Let me take a quick break and I'll come back. But I can tell you, Jamaica, I'm tired of the inequality in this country. Very tired.
All right. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. With the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. This is the set a rat trap, set a rat trap, set a rat trap. The 2 foot rat, them set a rat trap. This is the set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the parliament. Set a rat trap.
Jamaica. When will the lawlessness in this land stop? I'll ask again, Jamaica. When will the lawlessness in this land stop? When will the lawlessness in this land stop? Today, Jamaica, this afternoon, a bus traveling along the Spanish Town bypass or the Spanish Town Road. A bus with children. A bus carrying women, children, men, everybody in it. A bus, Jamaica. A bus. A bus. Picnic upon the bus. Senior citizens upon the bus. Me tired. When me say me tired, Jamaica. I am literally tired. No regard for people's life anymore. And tonight, me not take on Andrew. And Andrew, me go take on tonight. Me go take on the nasty hoodlum them, the dirty heart criminal them. And Andrew night tonight, Jamaica. Andrew can do so much and no more. Yes, we know them are wicked, but I never Andrew go shoot up the bus. We have to make them nasty, dirty criminal get some real rhythm in this country. 3 children, Jamaica. 3 children were shot and injured today, Jamaica. 3. It could have been my picnic, your picnic, my cousin, my sister, my brother. Could have been your picnic, Jamaica. And Andrew this time. And Andrew this time, Jamaica. And the dirty criminal them in this country. The dirty criminal them in this country. We have no moral decadence for life. People, 3 people could have died. Could have dead tonight, Jamaica. 1 in a hospital, a battle right now. And you're going to tell me, say, I want to talk about man. I want to talk about in my country. As a lawlessness, I just take over. As a lawlessness, I go take over Jamaica. As a lawlessness, I just take over in the island. Who knows said really get out of hand. Dirty hard criminal. Dirty hard criminal. Hoodlums. Creatures. Evil. Gunman! Uno heartless, uno vain, uno just go shut up a bus. Wayne show the bus no man. Show the bus no Wayne. Make the people them see the state of how the bus shut up no man. Jamaica, me really tired right now. You can tell me as a society we have no moral consciousness. Jamaica, me I tell you, say, I feel it bad, I feel it bad. I feel it bad. When you have the video, you have the video, Wayne, yes or no? Let me know if you have the video because I believe I sent it to you. I sent you so many things today. I sent it back to you. It's really bad, my country. It's really bad. No moral decadence. No moral consciousness. Generation of vipers, evildoers, pestilence on the land. And a bro God telling him to go shoot up the bus. So me now cuss bro God tonight. Me now cuss demolition man tonight. And if a demolition man do it. But you know the very fact is, politicians have been enabled no found no criminals. Politicians in this country have enabled a lot of you criminals. A lot of you criminals who take over the street. A lot of you criminals who go on lawless acts. And there is nothing. A lot of the police know who you are. The justice system know who you are. They know who you are. I want to show the bus tonight before I move on. This level of criminality, this level of lawlessness, no crime plan. That is what I'm going to talk again. No crime plan. No crime plan. But when Carnival did I keep one day, yeah, myriads of security put in a place. But when last when the police are patrol the road them the right way. Good Friday evening, some police in the Spanish Town Road. But when them in a New Kingston, I did them galang bad and go on bad. Police, they left, right, and center. Jamaica, think about that tonight. Think about that tonight, my friends. It can be that people in a specific areas of this country, the criminals have gone rogue. When I saw that act today, I was wondering, am I in Port-au-Prince in Haiti? Am I in Port-au-Prince in Haiti? Am I at Port-au-Prince in Haiti? Because I could not believe that lawlessness in my country. Carnival full up of police, full up of security apparatus. But we roads them where we need police for patrol. The roads are empty. Them only pack up a stoplights in the major city to go write traffic ticket. When is the video ready? All them do is sit down and write traffic ticket. All them do in this country is sit down and write traffic tickets. Weep from a country, Jamaica. weep for my country. Me no want to say Jamaica is a failed state. Because me do have hope. But every day I look around and I see these realities. There's nothing to smile about. Nothing to speak about. Nothing to boast about. Nothing, Jamaica, to speak about, boast about.
And them shoot up the bus there a while ago. And a woman come like she get shot in her neck back. The door, windscreen mash out. Yeah, police out there. Lord, place around hot, daddy. Yeah.
Country. No vex my country. But what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Tonight I challenge my country. What are we going to do? Can you set me a quick rat trap? Make I do my last commentary before my guest comes into studio.
All right. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. With the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. With the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the parliament. Set a rat trap with the two for the rat.
You know, Jamaica, I want to ask Andrew Holdness some questions tonight. I saw an article in the Gleaner stating that Prime Minister imploring young people Prime Minister imploring, me no know if nobody want no container house, you know. Andrew, demolition man. Container houses pitched as great option for young people. Young people no want zinc. Young people no want board house. So you are telling me, Jamaica, young people forgot to take container house from Brogan? Jamaica, if demolish people house, and now him a look for people, I tell people say, who the figure buy container house? From 2 million to 12 million. You are buy container house for 2 million to 12 million dollar. 12 million container house, Jamaica container house. Remember the man said Jamaica, you know, him going make housing solution reach to 70,000 in this country. Oh no, he said the man want to evade the middle class. I never hear Michael Manley talk about container house. I never hear PJ talk about container house, Jamaica. I never hear Portia or Bruce Golding talk about container house. I never hear Jamaica about this container house. And young people, we want prosperity Him a come talk about it for them to go buy container house. So when hurricane come Jamaica, when hurricane come, the container can't stand up to the hurricane. The way how Jamaica act, you know when them the container start burn you up, Jamaica. When them the container start burn you up. All you fat, all who fat, you know. Me and people are talk about, oh, them would have take a container house. Them would have take a container house. Young people, if the container house, what them are offer near $12 million, why is it that him not encourage you know? Figure go. But you know what? Jamaica, I will say it again. I will say it again to my nation. Una say the man really not mean we not good. Una say the man not really mean we not good. Container house. And that we really gone to my country. And that we really gone to my country. And that we really gone to my country. Container house. Container house, my country. Container house. You know what? And you know rate we. And you know rate we, my nation. This wicked, cruel monster. Certainly we don't rate we. I'm not taking any calls right now. How much you can live in them the house there? One house start from $2 million to $12 million. So say man no rate we. Man no have no rating for poor people. Young people, your prime minister say he might go in a container house. That are the option right now. Wanna go and take the container house, Jamaica? Tell me if you go and take the container house. Or not go vote him out. Trailer park. Him want get the trailer them. But I want to ask tonight. Which politician are gonna make their house here? Which labor right or probably PNP politician is behind this company where I make them house there? Who for company this where I purport and I say, boy, come and get. You the man that don't know young people. He's encouraging you know. Encouraging you know. Yes, he might encourage you know. But all me I said to you tonight, the more I see is the more I can confirm. This man is a destruction to this land. And people overseas, oh, trailers are nice. Trailers can be nice for food benefit. Trailer can nice for Jamaica. Trailer can nice for Jamaica. Cause the heat and the tropics where we under. When hurricane come take you and sweep on up, you know what? I leave you alone. So if you don't want to keep the container, no keep the container. I will leave that argument alone. Tonight, Jamaica, I will leave that argument alone. I just introduce it. And this is my final thing before I go into studio with my guest. Here's this, Jamaica. The 24th of this month, 24th of this month is National Pothole Day. What do I mean by Pothole Day? If you live in Jamaica near a pothole, if you are near to a pothole that is a deterrent to you, on Monday, for the entire day, we're going to post the potholes in this country. You hear what I said to you? Monday is National Pothole Day. Do you understand? So you are going to post and tag me on social media and let the country know and the national work agencies know of the many potholes in this country. We are going to highlight to them the potholes. Are you willing to highlight the potholes in your house, in your towns and your communities? Are you ready, Jamaica? I want everybody to send me the potholes that they are being affected by. All right? Tonight, Jamaica. So remember my country. Monday is National Pothole Day. You're going to sit beside the pothole and say to the Prime Minister, Demolition Man, this is your pothole. It needs to fit. All right? We're going to show them how social media can make the nation be arisen. And you're going to tag your member of parliament. You're going to tag your MP, and you're going to tag, and you're going to tag me, tag your MP. We are going to show up the pothole then. We are make them know about the pothole then. Right around Jamaica, National Pothole Day. Tonight, Jamaica. Tonight, Jamaica. There's a pressing matter that is to come in the Supreme Court of Jamaica. Let me take a break, and when I return, I'll return with a video, and then I will go into the discussion at hand. Come on, Jamaica.
What's up, Bangarang?
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So
Ministers failed Commonwealth Secretary General bid. The claims are to be settled on a date to be decided once the respondents are in receipt. However, in a statement from Foreign damning allegations of myriad breaches and possible perjury in relation to the $99,000 gifted by private donors to the minister's failed Commonwealth Secretary General bid. The claims are to be settled on a date to be decided once the respondents are in receipt. However, in a statement from Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, she insists the claims are baseless and untrue, despite reporting she is neither aware of nor in receipt of any such forms. She reminds that defamation, even on social media, is grounds for a suit, a comment to which Rattigan demanded an apology and threatened another suit, this time for defamation.
Pin partner said, Kamina Johnson-Smith, you are the beneficiary. You're a third-party beneficiary. We are providing this service to you. It's a gift to you from somebody else, right? Minister of Finance is saying Kamina Johnson-Smith did not file accounting for that $99,000. And Pin partners said, yeah, we got $99,000. We got $33,000 in April, $33,000 in May, and we got $33,000 in June. And here is a list of things that we gave her. Here is the teeth, here is the course, the lectures, whatever the preparation. Here's what we gave her. So she must come and tell me now that they're lying.
Rattigan notes the minister's contention will have to be with the government entities and bodies locally and in the U.S. from which he procured documents. Documents, he insists, show up to March 30 of 2023 signs of breaches of the Financial Administration and Audit Act and possible tax evasion.
I can prove that she did not file. She must now come and prove that she did file. And if you notice, she hasn't produced a single piece of document to say Rattigan is a liar because here is my filing. She hasn't. And you know why I think she hasn't done that? Because she didn't file. And I know for sure that with the Ministry of Finance, she didn't file up to March 30th. She did not file unless this document is a lie.
He challenged the government senator to provide her proof that she accepted the donation by the books, adding,
she has now filed a fraudulent document with the taxing authorities because she's supposed to file the 99, file it and said, look, this $99,000 came as a gift and it comes in as ordinary income. And I am supposed to pay like 24% on that. Here is my 24% of that $99,000. So I'm saying to her, instead of saying that the allegations are false and baseless and blah, 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 show your documents them.
Nika Lewis, CVM Live.
Jamaica Tonight. I bring to the schoolroom former FBI agent, former special FBI agent, Mr. Wilfred Rattigan. Welcome, Mr. Rattigan.
Thank you for having me.
I'm not hearing Mr. Rattigan.
You hearing me now?
Yes, Mr. Rattigan. Good night, sir. How are you?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Is the thousands of viewers hearing Mr. Rattigan tonight? Yes.
Okay,
Mr.
good.
Rattigan, welcome to the Partner Draw TV and the Andre Stevens Show.
Thank you for having me. And regards to your listening audience, your viewing audience, and your crew and your staff.
Who is Wilfred Rattigan?
Look behind me. That is Wilfred Rattigan. That you see there. That
Chaka
is
Chaka House.
That are my yard. That's 41 Penwood Crescent in a Waterhouse. That's my inspiration. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Wilfred Rattigan, born and raised in Kingston, Maxfield Avenue area, Waterhouse area, and was fortunate enough to have some outstanding teachers, good parents, good community, and managed to stay away from trouble. Although I was constantly surrounded by trouble because most of my friends, actually, they're most of them are dead or in prison right now. And through the grace of God, I was able to migrate and made use of my opportunity, and went to a good school in New York, and went to law school in DC, a good school as well, Howard University. Became a lawyer, joined the FBI. Spent 30 years in the FBI.
Spent how many years in the FBI?
30.
30?
Yeah.
30 years with the Federal Bureau of Investigations?
Yes, indeed.
How caught up were you in the FBI?
Very caught up, very caught up. I've served all over the world in a variety of positions, did a lot of things. Vast amount of experience.
Did you serve in any investigations in Jamaica?
Actually, we had an investigation that was conducted in the United States that had links to Jamaica, and I actually worked with the JCF at one point. But we worked the case from over here.
How in tune is the FBI with the issues of governance in Jamaica?
Well, let's broaden that. Let's just ask, how in tune is the U.S. or how familiar is the U.S. with the issues in Jamaica? Let me tell you this. There's nothing that is going on in Jamaica that the U.S. does not know about. Absolutely nothing.
But when you speak like this, Mr. Rattigan, the FBI has policies and confidential agreements. But when you speak, Mr. Rattigan, you speak rather unfiltered. And the discussions you have seemingly seem as though the classifications in the FBI on Jamaica, you seem rogue on them.
No, you know what happened? For 30 years, almost 30 years, I was given a script. And so I was essentially told what to say, when to say. Now I'm my own man. And you see behind me, that's my inspiration. That's my passion. That's my drive. There are people there who are relatives and friends. I haven't forgotten them. I never will.
Mr. Rattigan, are you sure that your motivation is right there at Penwood Road? Or is your motivation because the government never gave you the opportunity to become the police commissioner?
I'm glad I'm sorry.
Is your motivation really Penwood Road? Or is your motivation an anger Rattigan not given the opportunity to become the commissioner of police? Which is it?
It's a good question. Think about it like this. Let me just start with this phrase. The truth must not only be the truth, but the truth must be told. Now, whether or not I received a job in Jamaica as a police commissioner is immaterial to what I'm doing. What people must tell me now is that what I'm saying is false and I'm causing chaos and confusion in the country. They've strayed away from that issue, and there are naysayers who have said this. And what I do is I don't have side mirrors. I don't have a mirror. I'm looking straight ahead, completely focused on what I have to do. So I don't worry about.
So, Mr. Rattigan, so there's no ounce of bitterness towards the fact that you weren't placed or named as commissioner of police.
Absolutely not. And let me tell you something. The Jamaican government asked me to apply.
Repeat that, Mr. Rattigan.
I'll say it again, and I'll say it slowly so that people can hear and understand. The Jamaican government asked me to apply for the position.
The Jamaican government?
Yes.
The Jamaican government is subdued into 3 sections: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. Was any member of the executive who influenced you or told you? Did any member of the government, meaning the prime minister or any minister of government, advised you to have applied? No, or was it a member of the legislative or the judiciary? Who in the government, Mr. Rattigan?
Let me explain.
I would want to ask you, who in the government, Mr. Rattigan?
Let me explain to you. Back in, I think it's 2011 or so, I was in charge of the FBI office in South Africa. And the Jamaican government at that time had an initiative called Mapping the Diaspora. And what they asked the high commissions and the embassies overseas to do was to look at the diaspora in terms of Vision 2030. Look for people with certain skill sets that could come back and help to build Jamaica so that we could achieve and realize the dream of 2030. And the High Commission, people from the High Commission reached out to me and they said, listen, we don't have a lot of law enforcement experience in Jamaica, at least global experience. And so we are mapping you for that position and we would like you to apply for that position. And that's how that came about.
And this was in the year of 2011?
Around 2011. Yeah, around 2011. Yeah. 2011, 2012. This was when they appointed Dr. Carl Williams.
Dr. Carl Williams?
Yeah, as the police commissioner.
Oh, who was prime minister at that time? That was Mr. Holness?
No.
That was Mr. Golding?
No.
Or was it Mrs. Simpson Miller?
Mrs. Simpson Miller.
Oh. So, Mr. Rattigan, you're saying that members of a Simpson Miller administration courted you? Interesting.
No, well, here's the thing. Not necessarily courted me, they courted the diaspora to come back.
And I'm saying members of the Simpson Miller administration, including the diplomatic corps that represents the government of the day. Wow, interesting revelation, Mr. Rattigan. Simpson Miller administration diplomatic corps, meaning ambassadors, envoys Jamaica. Interesting. So those plans changed seemingly after a new government seemingly was formed.
What plans? To apply for
The commissioner.
Oh no, I applied a second time, and this time it was under this administration.
Oh, so why weren't you given it the first time?
You have to ask them that. I don't know.
So they asked you to apply, but you weren't given the position.
I wasn't even shortlisted.
So, Mr. Rattigan, you must have felt some level of disappointment there. It's human.
And here's why. I was very happy doing what I was doing, being in charge of the FBI office in South Africa. And I had the only reason why I applied was because I was, as you said, courted, quote unquote.
You were courted.
By members.
But you must have had some level of disappointment knowing that after that courtship,
You see,
not even being shortlisted.
No, you see, what happens is that you have to get to know me to understand my personality. I believe that everything happens in my life by the will and the plan of God. And so when things happen, you move on. You don't wallow in disappointment or anything. I'm not that kind of person. I just move on.
So after disappointment one came, you saw and heard of a new government, a prosperity government with a young, fresh, budding prime minister who told the nation that he's coming to impact bring good governance to the table, and he's bringing forward a new agenda for development in this country. So you seemingly got spruced up and say, let me apply again. Was that the case, Mr. Rattigan?
No, again, they're friends that I had developed, relationships I'd cultivated over the years with the Foreign Service, and people in the Foreign Service said, look, when Dr. Williams decided that he was going to leave, they said, we think it would be a good idea for you to apply again.
So your friends in the diplomatic circles once more say you must make a second bid.
Indeed.
And you made that second bid.
Yes, I did.
Were you shortlisted this time around?
No.
Oh God, Mr. Rattigan, a well-decorated man like you, with 30 years experience in the Federal Bureau of Investigation, a detailed investigator, a man with a great acumen of law and police services and intelligence gathering. You must have now felt, you felt a dagger now, Mr. Rattigan, into the disappointment that you are not even shortlisted a second time.
Instead of disappointment, I was bewildered, and I'll tell you why.
Bewildered?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because at that time in the diaspora, we had people, we'd sit around and we talk about Jamaica. And we would say, them don't know where them are do, them don't want, we'd criticize. And at one point, I started thinking critically about it. And I said, you know what? I am part of the problem.
How are you a part of the problem?
Because I have something that I can offer. People are asking me to present myself and my service. And I said, so instead of staying here and criticizing Jamaica, it would be best for me to offer self and service to help Jamaica.
Yes.
So when the opportunity came, I said, fine. So it was more bewildered, like, I don't understand this. I mean, Jamaica, a drowning man catches at straw. Jamaica was drowning in crime. Jamaica is still drowning in crime. And so you said, I can't understand. So it was more like, what's going on? And there was a third time. Let me tell you about the third time. I decided that, look, and at the second time, they appointed Mr. Coelho. It was kind of sad for him, because the same day he gave his appointment speech, I think they killed a police officer on Constant Spring Road. And that was an omen of things to come. So he decided he was going to leave. I happened to be in Jamaica because I love talking to young people, because I love to be a drive and inspiration for them. And I happened to be at Woolmer's Boys School,
Uh-huh.
speaking to the sixth formers. And after I gave them the inspirational talk, a couple of them came up, well, several of them came up, and they started asking me questions. And one of them said, "Aren't you the gentleman who applied for the police commissioner's job previously?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Why don't you apply a third time?" And I said, "No. They have qualified people here. They don't need me. I applied twice already. So, I'm busy doing what I'm doing, practicing law. So I'm fine." And he said, No. For the sake of our nation, I'll never forget it, as if it happened yesterday. He said that for the sake of our nation, we need you. We want you to apply again. And I said, "No, I'm not interested." And they kept hounding me. They even followed me outside to my car. And they kept saying, no, we need you. And that convinced me to say, okay, all right, fine. I'll apply a third time. And the third time, the present police commissioner was selected.
Who you mean? They hear a parent security, soon to become security minister.
You know more than me.
You mean the commissioner of police who 90% of Jamaicans believe is the worst commissioner of police?
91%.
91% last year believe that this man is the worst inept police commissioner, and he remains the commissioner of police. Mr. Rattigan. We're going to come back to crime in short order. But I've seen where a document was filed in the Supreme Courts against one of the Prime Minister's confidant, one of the Prime Minister's blue-eyed ladies. Why, Mr. Wilfred Rattigan, have you seen the need to bring forward such a lawsuit that the Minister of Foreign Affairs says is baseless, untrue, and defamatory? Can I see Kamina Johnson-Smith's picture tonight, my producer? Because I want Mr. Rattigan to face her when he's asking those questions tonight. Mr. Rattigan, faceless, untrue, and defamatory. Mr. Rattigan, what is your response tonight to the statements made yesterday morning by the learned Minister of Foreign Affairs?
Let me start out by saying what I first started out by saying, which is that, well, I didn't say it, actually, it wasn't the first thing I said, but I said it previously. The truth must not only be the truth, but the truth must be told. Let's start at the end, where the minister accuses me of providing information that's baseless, untrue, and defamatory.
Wow.
Those are serious, serious allegations against my allegations. I take them very seriously. And I demanded, I think it was yesterday,
for it to be withdrawn?
No, I demanded an apology from her. I'm also demanding a retraction, because she essentially has called me a liar.
What you said, Mr. Rattigan?
She essentially has called me a liar. When you say that information I've put forward is baseless and untrue, what are you saying?
But she never named you, Mr. Wilfred Rattigan.
But I'm the one.
She said,
but I am the one who put the that's my document, as you rightly said. That's my document.
So indirectly, she's calling you a liar?
What do you think?
I would have to ask the court of public opinion. Do you think the sentiment or the statement by Minister Johnson Smith yesterday morning, do you believe that she's accusing Wilfred Rattigan as a liar, Jamaica, and the diaspora? Or is it a case that she's implying or inferring that Mr. Rattigan is a liar, mischief maker, Jamaica? Come on, Jamaica, I need you to answer that question tonight, Mr. Rattigan. So you're saying that when she made such pronouncements, it makes your character questionable.
Yes, indeed. And let me just say this. This is a very, very simple case. It's a case of a law and regulations being broken, being violated by someone in our government who should be setting the example. I mean, all of the leaders in the government should be setting the example. And this is not a case where I'm going to say, or where I'm saying that Andre told me that his brother told him that the minister did this. No. This is simply, pure and simple, a documentary case. This is about documents. This is not about hearsay or somebody guessing as to what happened. Why am I telling you this? Very simply. Let me just explain to you very simply. The minister became a third-party beneficiary of a contract. What do I mean by that? Let me explain that to your listening audience. It's a situation where A pays B to provide services for C. Now, C didn't pay for the services, but C received the services. Keep that in mind. A pays money to B to provide a service for C. That's exactly what happened here.
So you're saying whereas a private donor contributed or financed the services of Finn and Partners, and Finn and Partners provided marketing services to the said individual, Kamina Johnson Smith.
That
is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And this document speaks to that. It's not me. This is a document filed by Finn Partners with the Department of Justice, U.S. government in Washington, D.C.
So you're saying Finn Partners filed what?
Under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, because it's a U.S. company representing a foreigner. And under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, they have to let the government know about this. And this is the document they filed. And they filed this document in June 6th of last year. And I'll read you pertinent sections of this document.
Please go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
You haven't seen it.
You're teaching us tonight. This is very important.
Okay. Well, they call you the professor or the teacher, and they say people come and learn and listen from you.
I said this coming. I would want a counter response from the respondent in the lawsuit, Kamina Johnson Smith. I'm inviting you to come to this program to clear up the ambiguities and the uncertainties. Can somebody tag Kamina Johnson Smith for me, please? Very important. I want her to hear this sentiment before she goes to court.
Well, listen, go ahead, Mr. She has retained an attorney, Bransford Braham.
Oh!
She has retained an attorney.
You mean Senator Ransford Braham, former Attorney General of Jamaica?
That's fine, because here's the thing. When truth is hurled against falsehood, falsehood perishes.
Repeat that, Mr. Rattigan.
When truth is hurled, thrown against falsehood, falsehood perishes. Because falsehood is by its nature bound to perish.
So you're saying that indirectly, Minister Johnson Smith is bound to perish? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that what I'm providing to you will substantiate my claim. And therefore, there can be no adequate response to what I'm telling you, because here's why. If this document that I have in my hand here is a lie.
Show the document, Mr. Tell us the most pertinent part of the document.
Okay. Well, first, before I tell you the pertinent part, let me tell you something about this document.
Yes.
This document was signed under the penalty of perjury and submitted to the U.S. government.
The penalty of?
Perjury.
Mm.
So, if this document is a lie, guess who has serious and significant problems? Fin partners.
So you're saying if the document is a lie, Fin Partners is to be implicated by the U.S. government?
No, Fin partners will be prosecuted by the U.S. government.
So you're saying that if the document is a lie, Fin Partners is to be prosecuted?
Yes. And guess what? Guess what? I will personally ensure that they get prosecuted. I will go down to the Department of Justice and file the complaint with them myself if this document is a lie. Now, let me read you the pertinent parts of this document.
Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan. This is an interesting class tonight.
And what you have to do is keep in mind that Minister Morgan.
Who? The de facto Minister of Information?
Yes, indeed.
The de facto Minister. Wait, can you find that de facto Minister of Information? Let us put him up on the screen now, Wayne, because tonight is a hot class. Nestor Morgan. Good night, Mr. Nestor Morgan. You're now under scrutiny. Come on now, Mr. Rattigan. This program looks like it will go to midnight tonight, but we're ready for it.
All
Mr.
right.
Rattigan, bust up the liberties, man.
Okay. August 7th of last year, Mr. Morgan was interviewed by Nationwide Radio.
Oh, you mean the government's mouthpiece? I can make those pronouncements, Mr. Rattigan.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay.
They mean the government's the government's radio program.
Right.
Mhm.
And he made a lot of statements regarding the financing of the minister's bid to become the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. He made statements like, there's nothing on that document that says government. He's talking about this document. There's nothing on that document that says government of Jamaica. And there's nothing on that document that says anything about another government outside Jamaica. He says things like, I don't know the fullness of the arrangement. Public declaration says Fin Partners was engaged to provide PR support for Minister Johnson Smith in her campaign for Commonwealth Secretary General. These are all quotes, by the way. You can go back and play the
Yes, man.
Right?
The records are there on Clip Use program.
Right. No, he said that there's nothing on that document that says government of Jamaica. Well, let me tell you something on this document that says government of Jamaica. It says, first, the name of the principal, the person that Finn is representing. It doesn't say government of Jamaica.
Who did it say?
Kamina Johnson Smith.
Who, by extension, is a member of the government.
Address 2 Port Royal Street. What is that 2 Port Royal Street?
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade.
Question 10. If the
so you're saying that if it was, it would have given her personal home address. Oh. So by extension, if they're saying 2 Port Royal Street, it's representing the government of Jamaica. Interesting argument.
And here's question 10. It says, before I do question 10, let me tell you what question 7 said. This is very interesting. It says, indicate whether the foreign principal is one of the following. Government of a foreign country. That wasn't checked. Foreign political party wasn't checked. Foreign or domestic organizations, not checked. Partnership, not checked. Corporation, not checked. Association, not checked. Committee, not checked. Voluntary group, not checked. Other, not checked. Individual, checked. And they took pains to write that this individual is a Jamaican national. Now, they went on to say, well, if the foreign principal is not a foreign government or a foreign political party, state the matter of the business or activity of this foreign principal. And what's written there? Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Jamaica. Somebody typed this in.
What? So they object to say it is not a minister or a foreign, but no, it is saying Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
So That in itself is contradictory to the previous statement made.
Exactly.
Oh,
Then we go on and it says, Fin Partners indicated here, it says the agreement between the registrant, and the registrant is Fin Partners, it said, and the above named foreign principal, the above named foreign principal is Kamina Johnson Smith, it said, is a formal written contract. And then they go on to say, here are the services we are going to provide, or we have provided, or we are in the process of providing. Public Relations Strategic Council, media monitoring, media relations, thought leadership, content strategy and development. They went on to say that they started working with the foreign principal, Kamina Johnson Smith, on April 22nd, 2022. And
right after the Queen grandchildren were here. Interesting.
And keep in mind that there was a consensus in CARICOM that CARICOM would support Baroness Scotland. And in April, Jamaica decided, no,
we are doing away and we're going to make a personal bid.
Now, this contract, it says, what is the date of the contract agreement with the foreign principal? It says April 26th of 2022. And then it goes on with the contract and it lists a whole bunch of things that they're doing for her. I can read you some of them. Strategic counsel and issues management, media online monitoring and analysis, daily monitoring report, immediate flag of critical issues and recommended messaging, counsel on any response if necessary, program competitive research, conduct ongoing research and conversation analysis of media and digital landscape, messaging and positioning, develop messaging platforms subject to ongoing refinement, media and on and on and on and on.
All fluff. All fluff.
Right? Now, here's what's interesting. And Mr. Braham, I hope you're listening to me because you listened to me recently, because in his letter to my lawyer, he said that he listened to me on YouTube and that I have said that we have additional information and he's asking for me to provide that additional information. Now,
Ransford Braham, Senator Ransford Braham. Call Senator Ransford Braham for me now, please. Ransford Braham, I don't want you to put me in any affidavit in the court, but I'm just calling you tonight. Good night, Senator Ransford Braham. How are you? Welcome to the Partner Draw TV. My name is Andre Stevens, and this program is surely giving your government a beat. Mr. Rattigan, ask Mr. Braham the questions tonight.
No, in June of 2022, there's an interview, and Mr. Braham, that's the evidence I'm talking about. And it was actually played. But in June of 2022, the minister appeared on TVJ. And she, I think it's 11 and a half minutes into the interview, she said, people have been talking about the financing of her campaign, and she needs to say something about it. And she said, my campaign is financed by the Jamaican government.
Repeat that, Mr. Braham. Mr. Rattigan. Mr. Rattigan, what you said?
The minister said in June on TVJ that her campaign was financed by the Jamaican government.
And I believe she was talking to Neville that morning.
Two people were there, a male and a female.
Neville and Dahlia. Yes. No, Neville and, I believe it was Neville and Simo.
Right. So when she said that, she neglected to mention that she was already working with Fin Partners, and that campaign, that aspect of the campaign, was funded by private donors. She didn't mention that.
So she never mentioned that private financing was being done for her campaign?
No.
Wow, misleading the nation, MC.
No. And now, here's the crux of the matter. And
what's
Mr.
the
Braham,
crux,
Mr. Braham, I hope you're listening and you're taking copious notes, because again, this is not my doing or my saying. This is documentary evidence. I've shown you this from Fin Partners to show you that they were working with her starting in April. And by the way, Fin Partners said that they were getting paid. They got $33,000 in April, $33,000 in May, and $33,000 in June, all US dollars. Accounting for $99,000. No, oh, here it is. No,
Jamaica, wait, Mr. Rattigan. I think you need to call a neighbor, Jamaica. Call a friend, call your family member. Some serious revelations are going to be made in another 10, 15 minutes on this program. I can tell you tonight that when I am through, I will have to send the Pampers. I have to send the Pampers to 2 Port Royal Street for Kamina Johnson Smith because she might need them for court, Jamaica. Mr. Rattigan, make those declarations. Come on, Mr. Rattigan.
Okay.
Come on, Mr. Rattigan.
Yeah, like I said to you, we're talking about documentary evidence. This is not about hearsay. Now, what should have happened? Simply this.
Wayne, can you put up back Kamina's? Because she might be starting playing the fifth to say it wasn't she. Wow. Mr. Rattigan, go on. Mr. Rattigan, I don't know how you never came to this university. A long time. You know, this is the biggest university in Jamaica.
I heard.
Come on, Mr. Rattigan, you can't stay away from this program now.
All right, here's what happened. There is a document in the Ministry of Finance. It's called Circular number 17, and it's dated June 10, 2013. And it's entitled Guidelines for the Acceptance of and Accounting for Gifts to the Government. And it's applicable to all public officials. And it lays out when you get a gift what you're supposed to do. And it all for example, it says you must fill out a gift form. So because you remember the big brouhaha about identifying the people who actually contributed to her campaign, and they resisted it for a while, and then they came out, the minister came out in Parliament, and he announced that there were two corporations and an individual. And then when he was asked about others, he said, I'm not authorized to release those names. And when he was asked about how much did they contribute, he wouldn't say, right? But here is something. It says, section 1.6, it said gifts must not be accepted as an incentive for hidden benefits, rights, or privileges to the donor. Why is that important? It's important because once you're getting that gift, you must notify the Ministry of Finance so that they can do a due diligence to ensure that the money is not coming from, or the gift is not coming from, a tainted source. No.
So, Mr. Rattigan, are you saying that similar to what happened with the Dutch company financing the former People's National Party government, issues of irregularities in terms of donorship, are you saying that a similar issue is now happening here?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
And to be frank with you, I don't know much about the Dutch sponsorship of a part. I don't know much about that. So I'll refrain from making any comments on that. But I know about this. I can make comments about this one. And the first thing you're supposed to do is to notify the government under this circular number 17. Notify the government that you're getting a gift so that the government can do a due diligence. Then you're supposed to fill out a gift form identifying the donors. And in addition to identifying the donors, you have to put their particulars. And I have a copy of the gift form here. So you have to give the donor's name, address, phone number, email, purpose of the gift, the amount of the gift, and so on and so forth. That you're required to do that. And then the gift must be, its value should be estimated, or in this case, it wouldn't be, it's $99,000, and it should be included in the estimates of revenue and the estimates of expenditures if it exceeds 2 million Jamaican dollars. Now we know 99,000 Jamaican dollars.
It's 15 million.
All right, there you go. So all of this should have been done, right? I had a hunch that it wasn't done, but a hunch is not good enough. So what did I do? I filed in November under the Access to Information Act with the Ministry of Finance to ask about these three provisions relative to.
So you're saying that you had a gut feeling that these issues were these donation wasn't being filed.
Correct. And so I filed in November, And under the ATI Act, that law,
Access to Information Act.
Right. The ministry to whom it is filed with, they have, well, the government has 30 days to respond to you, to say, we've received it and here's the information. Or we received it and we need more time. Or we've received it, but it falls under one of the exceptions and we can't give it to you.
Okay.
All right. No.
So after the 30 days, what happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened for more than 2 months. Actually, I think it was this year that I filed with the tribunal, and they opened up 2 cases to find out why is it that I did not receive the information or receive an acknowledgement.
So you're saying that they said Access for Information Act that gives 30 days. It took you almost months after to get any information.
Well, I tell you what, it took 137 days, I think, for them to respond with one of them. And I had to file twice with the Ministry of Finance to tell you the truth. And they came back and they said, oh, we didn't get your email. And I said, okay, you know what? Which I did, because here is a unique feature of the Access to Information Act. If you file with a ministry and it went to the wrong person, that person in the ministry, they are required to send it to the right person. They cannot sit on it. They cannot send it back to you. They have to find the right person to send it to. That wasn't done in my case.
So when you got the information now, let us get to the meat of the matter.
I got the information March. Remember, I filed in November of last year. I got the information March, in a letter dated March 30th of this year. And I will read you the letter. I'll read you the letter.
Day when the declarations and the statutories of all government ministers ought to be filed with the Integrity Commission.
We'll get to that.
Wow.
Here's a letter. It says, the ministry acknowledges receipt of your ATI application received via electronic mail on March 24, 2023. That wasn't the first time I filed, March 24, 2023. That was the last time I filed. In your application, you requested documents in relation to the government of Jamaica's guideline for the acceptance of and accounting for gifts to the government as it relates to monies received towards the campaign of Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith as Secretary General to the Commonwealth as follows. And here are the things I asked for. Acceptance of gift form that was submitted to the Ministry of Finance concerning the $99,000 gift for the benefit of Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith's campaign to become Secretary General of the Commonwealth. That's one. Number 2, the due diligence report detailing the sources of the gift. And 3, evidence that the gift was included in the estimates of expenditure and the additional administrative procedures were followed. Here is the key, the very last sentence. Please be advised that no documentation exists within the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to satisfy your request.
Repeat that, Mr. Rattigan.
Please be advised that no documentation exists within the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to satisfy your request.
So you're saying that the statutories wasn't filed?
Andre, I know me, I say so. And the Ministry of Finance says so. I know me. Everything when I tell you, Andre, we just read off of the paper. I know me. What is it? See that the fin document. I know me file this.
Wow,
this,
Mr.
I know me
Rattigan.
file this. The Financial Administrative Act. I know me file it. This the way the other one there.
The Penwood side that you get out now, Mr. Rattigan. The Penwood boy get out now, Mr. Rattigan. What you say? And you file it, sir.
No. See that? The circular 17, I know me. The access to information response from the ministry, I know me. The Financial Administrative Act, I know me. And the Fin Partners Act, I know me. So what they're saying, let me get back to the King's English because the Queen gone. Listen, what they're saying is simply this, that this letter is saying the minister did not comply with the Financial Administration and Audit Act and Circular 17. She did not comply with it as of March 30th. So me need them to come tell me no, say. Me need them to come tell me no, say me a liar. Well, she don't tell me already, say me a liar. But prove it, say me a liar. Because what she's going to prove, and she cannot prove it, is that some shenanigans went on. Because again, this is a document case. This is not a witness case where you're bringing somebody who said they saw something or they heard something. None of that. I don't even have to be there. All I have to do is just present these documents and said, Judge, look at this for yourself and tell me if she complied with the provisions of the Financial Administration and Audit Act and Circular 17. And the
so if she has not complied, what is the implication of such?
Well, the implication is this. We need to know, and this is one of my primary concerns, who financed her campaign. And I'll tell you why. What would you say, Andre, if at the end of the day, it is revealed that an SSL or somebody with a cloud, somebody that financed or partly financed.
What is that, Mr. Rattigan?
What would you say? What would you
Mr. Rattigan, what you just said about SSL?
No, I said, what would you say? We don't know. We don't know if SSL, so we need to know. We need to know who financed it. And I'm saying, what would you say if it's determined later on that somebody, a company like SSL or somebody on the cloud, a drug dealer, or somebody who, of unsavory character financed it? We don't know. We don't know.
So, Mr. Rattigan, who have you been told financed the campaign?
So far, the Minister of Information has revealed that a gentleman by the name of Duncan and Grace Kennedy, and there's another corporation, 2 corporations and one individual.
So you're saying Keith Duncan?
Yeah. And again, I'm just repeating what the Minister of Information said in Parliament.
Was it Parliament or was it a press conference?
No, I believe it was in Parliament because, if my memory serves me correctly, because the leader of the opposition was posing questions to him about the funding and the additional donors, and I think he said that he couldn't. He
So, Mr. Rattigan, if the de facto minister named Mr. Keith Duncan, Grace, and another company, why are you not satisfied?
Because I'm not satisfied because the Minister of Information indicated that there were other donors that he could not reveal their name because he was not authorized to so do.
Oh, so is it that you want the court to reveal and declare who the additional donors were?
No. What I'm asking the court to do is to look at all of the documents here and make a declaration as to whether or not the minister violated the Financial Administration and Audit Act and Circular 17. That's all.
And if she has violated, what is the consequence of such?
Well, that's an interesting question. And we will get to that when we get to that. But first things first, we want the declaration. We want to get it before a judge so a judge can view it and make a decision. That's what we want to do. Then once a decision is made, then we'll take step 2 from there.
So, Mr. Rattigan, are you saying that it's your intention? It is your motive? Is it your guide or direction to end the political career of Kamina Johnson-Smith?
This is not personal to Kamina to the Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith. This is about good governance. It could have been John Brown or Mary Jane.
It could be a friend, It could have been your friend, Mr. Jeffrey Tavares or Mr. Wayne Lonesome. You want good government.
It could have been anybody. In fact, I've never met the minister. I don't care about the minister in terms of her personally occupying that position. All I'm saying is that whoever it was who occupied that position, and it just happens in this case to be the minister, Kamina Johnson Smith, that it is my belief, based on the documents I have here, that she violated the act and she violated the administrative procedure. That's all. That's all.
And you're saying if that procedure, that goes forward, there are other things to come.
Well, let me just say this on your program. It takes a lot for me to get enraged. But when I heard and when I read what the minister wrote about the information being baseless, untrue, and defamatory, I went ahead today, and this is like putting on braces and you have on your belt. This is called security. I want to make sure of this. The documents filed in court will be sent to the tax administration, will be sent to the Integrity Commission and the Ministry of Finance. But in order to get the Integrity Commission going, and you know they've come under a lot of fire recently, I decided that I was going to file my own complaint, which I did today.
Who you filed a complaint with?
Integrity Commission. And by the way,
Greg Christie Commission that is under pressure.
Yes, and I don't need any anonymity. I don't need that. We don't need anonymity.
So you're saying that you, a member of the diaspora,
I just said it.
Filed.
I just said it.
When is court, Mr.
Court is on the 29th of May.
Aware that she has court, because I don't want her to say it's baseless, untrue, and defamatory that you don't know about her.
And you see the thing about it, sorry to interrupt you, Andrew. The thing about it is that some people they make statements based on what they've made statements based on what the minister said, and them say, hey, my liar, and blah 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 blah. But I tell you this: if you approach this issue with an open mind, objectively, and you look at the documents, Rattigan is not on any of these documents. Rattigan is not on any of these documents. Just look at these documents and examine them and analyze them for what they are.
So who is the claimant?
You mean the person bringing the action?
Yes.
I am the person bringing the action, but I'm bringing it on behalf of people like you in Jamaica and people overseas. Because you know why? You know why? This has to do with good governance. We sit and we talk about...
So, Mr. Rattigan, are you able to practice in Jamaica?
Practice what?
Law.
No.
So who is your attorney in this matter?
The boss, the law boss.
Who is the law boss?
Sophia Bryan.
Sophia Bryan is your attorney bringing this case in the Jamaica's jurisdiction?
Yes.
Oh.
And she no kin teeth, you know, she kick out teeth.
But you can't kick out the minister's teeth. That is
no, metaphorically speaking, we are taking this as far as we can. And by the way, let me say something again on your program. This is nobody has heard this. Tonight, I went ahead and I filed a request under the Access to Information Act with the tax administration and with the Integrity Commission.
What were those filing about now?
Those filing are to determine whether or not, let's go to the Integrity Commission. It is to determine whether or not the minister filed and accounted for the $99,000 in her statutory declaration, her most recent statutory declaration.
But Mr. Rattigan,
yeah,
isn't it a commonality in this Wholeness administration for the Prime Minister and others not to be filing declarations? It's a common knowledge. Why would you be surprised if it is that she has not filed?
because
There's
I
no
want.
penalties in Jamaica for ministers of government, including the Prime Minister, not to file his statutories.
Hold on,
The
let me read,
Integrity Commission seemingly has no teeth in this
no,
country.
let me read
They
this now.
can't fight and put things in place, because up to date I am still to hear whether or not the Prime Minister has filed his latest statutories in this country.
Well, here's the thing. That may very well be anecdotal. It may be common knowledge, but I want proof. I want proof. And here's what it says. The Integrity Commission Act of 2017, Section 43, subsection 2. A person who knowingly makes a false statement in a statutory declaration commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction in a parish court to a fine not exceeding $2 million or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, and the court may make such order as it thinks fit. So there's a difference between not filing and filing false information. And you can file false information by commission, meaning by statements, or by omission, not saying what you should say. And in this case, I'm saying that if she didn't, because I believe it, but I don't know it for a fact, that she didn't file. So I'm asking the Integrity Commission not to give me your personal documents, because there are certain exceptions under the Access to Information Act. I'm not asking for the document. I'm just asking whether or not she accounted for the $99,000 as a gift. Because guess what? Let me read you something else. There's a section here on
what
gift.
an interesting program tonight.
Okay, here it is. This is Section 40 of the Integrity Commission Act of 2017. It says, any parliamentarian or official who receives a gift which exceeds in value the amount of $100,000 or such amount prescribed by the minister by order shall declare the gift in the item specified as item 14 in the third schedule. Now, $99,000 is more than 100. 99,000 US dollars is far more than 100,000 Jamaican dollars.
Yes,
So she should have reported it. So I'm asking them now, did she report?
But but you have now found out that the statutories weren't filed. So why are you proceeding?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know if the statutories. No, what she didn't file? She didn't file with the Ministry of Finance. Right. What I was just about to say to you is that there's a difference between filing with the Integrity Commission and filing materially false information. If you don't file with the Integrity Commission, they'll give you 30 days and they'll say, look, you need to file. And if you don't, then you'll suffer the consequences. But if you file and you file false information, that's something completely different.
So you're saying she still has time to file?
I don't know if she's filed. I'm asking them.
So you set a rat trap.
And that you call it.
You set a rat trap, Mr. Rattigan.
Well, let me tell you about if those are your words, and I mean you may think that those words adequately describe what I'm doing. But let me tell you something else, and maybe you want to call this one a rat trap too. See, when you get a gift for tax purposes is going to be ordinary income, other income, right? And you're going to have to pay taxes on that. So I've also filed with the tax administration to find out whether or not in her tax filing she accounted for this $99,000 as income and paid the requisite taxes on that gift. So
you go to the tax department?
Yes, sir.
You go to the Integrity Commission?
Yes, and I went to the finance ministry.
And you went to the, so you really set a rat trap everywhere for her, so everywhere she turn, trap there.
So if she didn't file and claim the $99,000, serious problems. But we know that as of March 30th, she did not file with the Ministry of Finance as required. We know that for a fact. So, Mr. Braham, I hope you're taking copious notes. I'm not goading you. All I'm saying to you is I know you're listening. So take notes, because I want to hear the defense that will be mounted, especially when it comes to the Ministry of Finance. I want to hear the defense that will be mounted.
So my question now is, There are speculations that yourself and members of the diaspora will be bringing a lawsuit on the head of the government of Jamaica.
I will tell you that, Andre.
I have heard speculations. I am asking you tonight, former special FBI agent.
Supervisory special agent, sir.
Supervisory special agent.
And
Mr.
retired, not
Wilfred
former. You
Rattigan.
use retired. Because retired means that you do your full term.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Retired.
Supervisor.
Former
you can't say
special
retired
agent.
farmer. No, you can't say retired farmer. It's retired supervisor special agent.
Retired supervisory special agent Wilfred Rattigan.
Yes, sir.
Are you saying tonight that a lawsuit is coming for the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holt? Mr. Rattigan, why are you smiling? Mr. Rattigan, I'm asking again. Mr. Rattigan.
I'm listening to you. Go ahead with a question.
Mr. Rattigan, are you setting a trap for the Prime Minister of Jamaica? Look, are you carrying a class action lawsuit?
Yeah, you have good sources.
Are you carrying a class action lawsuit?
No. Let me say it like this. We have a group of people in the diaspora very concerned about the state of our homeland and good governance. And we're looking at people in positions of leadership. And we're trying to determine what is the best way to address failed leadership. Now, the Prime Minister, he had the opportunity to remove certain people within his cabinet. People were failing.
Including?
I'll tell you, Fable Williams, Dr. Chang, who else? We have the police commissioner. We have some would say Minister of Health, right? Some would say Mr. Samuda with the debacle and the farm workers over in Canada. Some would even say the Minister of Information. Some people, I haven't, but some people have called him Minister of Misinformation, right? So the Prime Minister, and we were told, or we heard through the grapevine, that there would be a cabinet shuffle at the beginning of the year, sometime in January. We haven't seen
I
that.
have been informed that in another 7 weeks, the pressing cabinet reshuffle is pending.
Well, Andre, think about this.
You're saying that he has failed on his cabinet. What else has he failed on?
You mean the Prime Minister?
Yes.
He has failed on his cabinet so much so that he's now, and we jokingly refer to him as the crime minister, meaning that he's now having to fight crime, because he was the one who attended with the police commissioner last year. They came to Washington, D.C. to meet with U.S. law enforcement officials to talk about guns being shipped to Jamaica, right? The Minister of National Security was noticeably absent. Just this week, I believe.
Mr. Rattigan, with your level of intelligence, guy, why is the Minister of Security noticeably absent at these high-level meetings? What possibly could be the reason? Well, give me the best possible reason, mister. I don't want the third, fourth, fifth. What is the best possible reason why the Minister of Security is notably absent in these high-level meetings?
I don't have the document in front of me right now, but if you're able to obtain it, you should look at it. And it's a cable from the U.S. Embassy coming to Washington, D.C., to various entities in Washington, D.C., where they specifically named the Minister of National Security as being involved with criminal elements in Jamaica.
Repeat that, Mr. Rattigan.
There's a cable, at least one I'm aware of, because I've seen it, that came out of the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica, sent to Washington, D.C. And in that cable, allegations were made that the Minister of National Security is involved with criminal elements in Western Jamaica.
So, are you saying, Mr. Rattigan, with that cable, it has now limited the Minister of Security's ability to have discussions with the ABC countries, the northern countries?
Let me answer the question like this. It's a good question, but let me answer it like this.
Mm-hmm.
If I were in the minister's shoes and I became aware of this cable, the first thing, and maybe I'm putting part of my training into my thought process. What I would be thinking about is there a sealed indictment waiting for me? And when I travel, I'm arrested. I would be thinking that. I don't know if he is. I would be thinking that. And the reason for that is this. As you might be aware, to go through the process of extraditing someone, particularly a high-ranking government official, it's time-consuming. It's very troublesome. It could end up causing all kinds of problems with relations. So what the U.S. government has done, and they've done it time and time again. Recently, they did it with the president, I think, of the British Virgin Islands. They allow you to travel, and sometimes they allow you to travel and go back and forth. And at some point in time, they grab you, and you see what happened with him. He came and they were showing him around the plane and all that stuff. He was involved with some shenanigans, and then he was arrested. So if I were the Minister of National Security, knowing that there's a cable out there accusing me of being involved with criminal element, I would be concerned. I don't know his reason for not traveling. All I'm saying is that if I were in his shoes, this is what I would be thinking, and therefore I would not travel. No, he did travel. I think he traveled to St. Lucia. And interestingly, I found this out, that he was chairperson of a committee that was responsible for addressing crime issues in CARICOM. And I'm saying to myself, but wait a minute, this man is a 93% failure in Jamaica. And in fact, I'm being told that in his constituency, the murder rate ranks among the highest in Jamaica. And I'm saying, so the murder rate in his constituency is high. The murder rate in the country that he's responsible for curbing crime is high. Then how can he take care of crime in CARICOM? He was on a committee there, but he did travel one time that I'm aware of too. I think it was St. Lucia, and he went to hand over the baton to the new person coming aboard, taking over the leadership of that committee.
I really need some soup from Annette tonight because you're spilling some hot soup. But I want to put you under some, as an FBI former special supervisory trade agent. Daryl Vaz visa was taken away by the US government. And I've been reliably informed that the Prime Minister lobbied heavily. It is said that the Prime Minister lobbied heavily for Mr. Vaz's visa to be returned. However, Mr. Rattigan, in the case of James Robertson, we have heard of no lobbying being done by the said government for another member of the JLP. What could have been the reason why the Prime Minister or the US government lobbied so strongly for Mr. Vaz to get back his visa?
I won't speculate on that, but what I'll say is this, and this is public record. The former ambassador, U.S. ambassador to Jamaica. His name escapes me now. But he lobbied members of the Congress for the return of Mr. Vaz's visa. And that's public knowledge. He did that. But what's interesting is that Mr. Vaz's visa was taken away under that same ambassador's leadership at the embassy. And when he was interviewed by Cliff Hughes on Nationwide, he, the ambassador, said that he didn't know anything of, he didn't know anything about it. Now, I can tell you this, because I've served in many, many embassies all across the globe. In the Middle East, I've been in embassies in the Middle East, the Far East, Africa, North America, Europe. I've been all over. I've served in temporary as a temporary duty worker and as a permanent member of the ambassador of the embassy.
Yes.
Nothing like this happens without the ambassador knowing about it. You do not take away the visa of a government official without the ambassador knowing about it. And let me
so you're saying that when the ambassador came on the program to say he wasn't aware, red flags sent.
Yes. I didn't believe him. And in fact, I called Cliff Hughes and I told him that. I told him, I said, I don't believe an ambassador, they're going to take away. This is just my personal opinion. And it's based on my experience that if you're going to take away a high-ranking government official's visa, if you're going to revoke it, that information is going to come to the attention of the ambassador because of diplomatic relations. It must come to him. You cannot do it without him knowing about it. That's my experience.
So what? But I was appalled by how Mr. Vaz's visa was expedited in such a manner. Could it be that Mr. Vaz is aware of things in the government that possibly could be?
I tell you what, a very dear friend of mine, you mentioned Jeffrey Tavares and you mentioned Wayne Lonesome. You forgot to mention another name. Remember this name.
Howard Johnson.
No, remember this name and remember it well. You need to have him on your program. His name is Herb Nelson Jr.
Herb Nelson Jr.
Yes. He served in the American intelligence community for many, 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 many years as an analyst. He knows the inside, outside, round side. He knows all these stuff, this visa stuff, and he can make the connections for you. I'm telling you, Andre, you need to have him on. Whoever you have on tomorrow, cancel him. Bring this man on. I'm telling you.
No, I rest tomorrow. Probably I will have a part 2 to this discussion on Sunday night.
But let me tell you something. This
Seemingly
man,
you know something, but you're saying the authority to speak on the said matter is Mr. Nelson. Interesting.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that.
I am asking. You know, it is my duty as a probing analyst to press you all.
Right, and I'm answering. I'm saying to you that if you want to know about connections in Jamaica between different people and travel and country and movement of funds and all that stuff, you need to get this man on your program. Believe me, if you get him on your program, I guarantee you have at least 50,000 people watching. Guarantee. You probably have 50,000 already. But if you have 50, you're going to have about 70 when this man comes on your program.
Well, put it this way. We will look into it. But I want to add. We will look into it.
No, look into it. Do it.
And I will say, as I'm saying, we will certainly look into it. Because it's one thing I try as best to do is to program a show for 3 to 4 days. But my producer and I will sit tomorrow and we'll discuss the rest of the week as best as possible. But I will reach out if needs be.
And do it, yes.
And I am going to say to you.
Yes.
Do you believe the US government has the Prime Minister under special scrutiny? Do you believe that President...
Herb Nelson, where you there? Me need you, yes or no? Me need you.
No, man, Mr. Rattigan. You have always been able to stand on your feet.
Yeah.
With your special training, Mr. Rattigan.
I'm going to sit down for that one. I'm going to sit down for that one. I'm going to stand up for that one. I'm going to sit down.
Mr. Rattigan, I'm going to ask the question again.
Ask the question again.
Do you believe that President Biden's administration has the Prime Minister under? Mr. Rattigan. Silence in my vocabulary is consent. Mr. Rattigan.
Silence is wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yes.
Mr. Rattigan. Mr. Rattigan.
Mr. Rattigan, for the question.
Mr. Rattigan. I will have to ask again in the interest of the public.
Yes.
Are you concerned about the Chinese interest in Jamaica?
Well, look. When you have a foreign country come into your country and build a sensitive site, it tells me that you have no concept of counterintelligence.
You're speaking about the Chinese building the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Of course. Of course. How could that happen? I tell you this, no American diplomat worth the name, no Canadian diplomat worth the name, no British diplomat worth the name. In fact, no diplomat that is associated with the Five Eyes countries. Five Eyes, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, America, and the UK. They share information. They, more with them between themselves more than anybody else. No, if you're associated with them, you would not go to that building and have any substantive conversation unless you want to misdirect people listening. Unless you wouldn't. Why would you?
So you're saying there's a major concern about the Chinese building the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Look, my first 3-4 years in the FBI, I worked foreign counterintelligence. My job was to catch spies. Right? And given my experience, it is my considered opinion that that building
is bugged,
should not be used to discuss sensitive topics.
Well, so when you're saying that a next government is formed, you're saying that the Foreign Affairs Ministry should possibly be pulled from that building.
Look, I leave it up to them. I mean, this is common knowledge. This is not, or if it's a secret, it's a public secret. People in the know about this. And again, I reiterate, I personally, people can do whatever they want to do. But I personally, if I were a diplomat, I would not be going there and having substantive conversation. I would go there. But I would go there for the frivolities
and
the exchanging of pleasantries. Yeah, exchanging pleasantries and all
the
of
cocktails.
But, right. But to sit down and then say, okay, here's our strategic plan for the Caribbean. Here's how we're going to handle this country. Here's how we're going to handle the situation in Haiti. I would not do it.
Mr. Rattigan, 9,000 account holders at Stocks and Security Limited are worried tonight. An injunction yesterday in the Supreme Court was lifted on you cross-free. 9,000 account holders don't know if they're going to get back their investments in stocks and securities limited. The learned Minister of Finance said that your former place of employment will be assisting in the investigations into the fraud found at Stocks and Securities Limited. Mr. Rattigan, do you believe that the FBI, with your level of training, intelligence gathering, is in any way, shape, or form involved in this investigation?
Yes. Yes. The question is how involved? Now, the FBI office in Jamaica is a sub office. The main office is in the Dominican Republic. This is the Jamaican office is a satellite office. It's an outpost. It used to be what they call a road trip. So the person and the office, by the way, and this will give me a chance to kind of explain to your listening audience about how the FBI works overseas. The person who heads the office is called the legal attaché or legat. Some places in this world, they have one legat. Some places like London, for example, they have one legat and they have several layers of assistant legats, deputy legats, assistant. Like London, for example, they have lots, right? So there's one legat in the Dominican Republic, and their territorial responsibility is the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Jamaica. It may have included more countries by now, but the last time I checked, those 3 countries. The legat who operates out of the Dominican Republic. In fact, I met one of the legats. He and I used to work together, and it was a road trip. He would actually fly to Jamaica, conduct his business, go back to the Dominican Republic. But because Jamaica became so important in terms of the exchange of information regarding crime and all of this, they decided to open up an office there. And I think there's one person there. You may have a secretary there. Now, when you ask about the assistance being provided, assistance comes in many forms. It could be where the Jamaican authorities, they go to this person in the legat, in the ALAT, and say, look, we would like you to run some names for us in this SSL investigation. We would like you to get some telephone records for us. We would like you to tell us about the travel pattern of certain people. We'd like you to do this, that. That's routine. That's routine. But I think what you're referring to is a full-blown investigation conducted by the FBI alongside.
To follow the money, to follow the traces, to do the investigations, to do the forensic, to go into the systems, to go into the bank accounts. Are you saying you don't believe that that high-level kind of probe by the FBI is being provided to Jamaica?
In order to answer that question, let's put it in context. The first person to come out and say that the FBI will be involved in the SSL, Minister Clark.
You mean the Minister of Negligence?
Those are your words. But the Minister of Finance, right? Dr. Clark. And I found that rather interesting because normally that announcement would be made by the Minister of National Security or the police commissioner. I don't know why that was done, but it was done. And then at the second meeting, he said, no, there was a news report put out by Mr. Brooks from CVM. And I believe he stated in it that the investigation was being conducted out of the Dominican Republic, which tells me that whatever assistance was provided in Jamaica, it was routine. Because if they're going to help, they would be in Jamaica. Then the third thing was we had the gentleman, Mac something, can't remember his name, in charge of CTOC. And he said the FBI is
Mr.
not
McFarlane.
here. McFarlane. He said the FBI is not here. It's a local investigation. It's local, meaning that the JCF is and others, maybe MOCA or whatever, they're dealing with it. And he says, and when we need the FBI, at that point we will call them in. Then the minister came and said, no. He didn't mean that. He meant that as far as Miss, what's her name, the lady who was arrested,
It's Panton.
With Panton. He said, no, he was referring to the Panton arrest. He was referring to the Panton part of the investigation. Well, that's nonsense because it's all one thing. She's involved in this. So if the FBI is coming in, they would be involved in it. And then we hear stories about 40 FBI agents coming into Jamaica to help. Well, let me tell you something. When I joined the FBI in 1987, it was about 4% black people. When I left in 2017, it was about 4% black people. 40 FBI agents coming into your country, you are going to know, especially in a country that's about 90% black, you are going to know, and they're going to have to talk to people. We don't see none of that. If the minister wanted to convince the public and enhance his stature as far as credibility and believability, what he should have done, similarly to what he did with the forensics firm out of England. And by the way, that forensics firm is not even on the top 5, I think. Herb Nelson gave me this information. Not even in top 5 or top 10 forensics firm out of England. But you remember he had a press conference where they signed documents and all that stuff?
Yes.
Why didn't he have one with the FBI? That would have engendered faith and confidence that, yes, our minister is doing the right thing. And yes, the FBI is here. And guess what? The FBI do that all the time. They do that all the time.
So you're saying that if the FBI was here, they would have even been willing to do a ceremony to sign off to say they're now fully involved in the investigation.
Not necessarily signing, but what he could have done, he could have had a press conference. Mr. Khan said, hey, I'm giving you an update on what's going on. And the FBI agent such and such, he's leading the investigation, he's here, blah, 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 blah. It would have been good for the media and it would have been good for the public. But
to give the public assurances.
Exactly.
The investigation is proceeding in the way.
Exactly. No, here's another thing regarding that investigation. In order to work with the FBI, within the FBI, you need 2 things.
What's that?
You need a clearance, a top secret clearance. And the second, every FBI agent has that. Every FBI agent has a top secret clearance. But here's what not every FBI agent has: a need to know. A need to know. So if you and I are on 2 different squads, I'm working Dominicans, you're working Jamaicans, for example, I have no need to know what you're doing, except if I sense that there's a connection between my case and your case. Because the moment I start trampling and coming over and start going into the computer and looking at your stuff, guess what? It's going to cause an investigation. Because if I start looking into your files, you will get an audit report saying Rattigan looked in your file. And you're going to say, well, Rattigan is not on my squad. Why is he looking at my file? So there's going to be a problem.
With your level of 30 years of experience and training and intelligence gathering and data analysis, looking on into the investigation presently into SSLP, where do you see this going? Do you believe that this is another attempted case of corruption to be placed under the carpets and the rugs?
That's a good question. It's a good question. Yeah. And I'll tell you why it's a good question. I came to Jamaica. I was in Jamaica last year, and I went to see a very, very senior person in business. And I was seeking sponsorship for a radio program. And by the way, I do have a radio program. If you don't mind me saying it, it's called it's Reason with Rattigan, and it's on Reggae Global Radio. It comes on at 2 to 5 Jamaica time, 3 to 6 Eastern, on the Eastern Seaboard, right? So tomorrow you guys must check me out, because we have tomorrow we're gonna have Canute Thompson, and we're gonna have a community activist, Luke George. We're gonna have them on the program. Very nice program. But anyway, I went and I tried to get sponsorship for the program. And you know what the gentleman said to me? I was asking, what about content? He said, you will never have to worry about content for Jamaica, because Jamaica is a content-rich country. Every day there is something going on here. So to answer your question about, where do I see it going? Issues come to die in Jamaica. They die the 7-day death or the 10-day journalistic death. And by the way, that's why this one is so important, because if you remember this issue with the Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, this occurred last year, July, August, and it was supposed to have died. But guess what? Rattigan resurrect it. And that's what we do around here in these parts. We are looking at issues in Jamaica and we are resurrecting them. And it brings me back to the question you asked about the Prime Minister. All I can tell you is that issues are being resurrected. That's all I can tell you. So
what are you saying, Mr. Wilfred Rattigan, that Lazarus was dead, but Rattigan is rolling away the stone to lose Jamaica? Are you saying that Rattigan is raising the dead issues of corruption, cronyism, nepotism in this country?
Look, I've said it time and time again. People ask me, are you interested in any position in Jamaica? Police commissioner. And I tell them, no, I have no interest in power or position in Jamaica. My only concern, them people.
Is Penwood?
Not Penwood. People like them, poor people. And Jamaica is significant.
Mr. Rattigan, seeing that you're so concerned, let me put you under some pressure.
Please.
Why, as a member of the diaspora, you don't return and possibly join a political party or run independent against?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm not about parties and politics. I'm about people and policies. Because you know what? I've seen instances where both parties failed to deliver to the people. Failed to deliver. So I see myself more or less as an ombudsman. Right? I see myself more or less holding them accountable, regardless of their party affiliation.
I think that when Caroline Reed Cameron exits the office or demits the office of public defender, I believe you should apply for the post of public defender. Mr. Rattigan, why don't you come back home?
Listen, I have no fear, no compunction about coming back home. But I tell you what, where I am right now, it's easier for me to do the kind of work I'm doing because I'm not distracted. And what we need to do is we can start cleaning it up from here, because we have so many talented, qualified people in the diaspora with an abundance of information. And so what we're doing is we're reaching out and we're trying to make a difference. Now, here's the thing. People used to say, you know, the diaspora is just, whenever they have a radio show or something, it's just talk shop. Them just talk and then vent, and then after that, them feel good and nothing gets done. Well, this group of diasporans, this group, the Jeffrey Tavares, the Wayne Lonesome, the Wilfred Rattigan, we're different because we are actually doing something. That lawsuit you see there, that's just the first of an opening salvo.
But Mr. Rattigan, members are saying that the lawsuits will possibly find no grounds in the court system in Jamaica.
No, we don't believe that. We don't believe that because that's casting aspersions on the judiciary. That's casting aspersions on the judiciary. We believe that they are objective, fair-minded judges in Jamaica, and we believe that the system will work. Until we see otherwise, that's our position, that the system will work.
Mr. Rattigan, people are saying, just as how Andre is on the front line, fighting day and night, and being a vanguard and a gatekeeper for truth and justice in this country. Why not stand with me in physicality in this country? Let us ward off the evil in this country. Why not return home yourself, Mr. Tavares, Mr. Nelson, and by extension, Mr. Lonesome? Because if we have being here in person, it does have a greater impact.
Yes.
Why not come home?
I'm not ruling out coming home. I'm not ruling out coming home. What I'm saying to you is that what we are doing here, we're doing important work here. Let me tell you something that we're doing that I think it's best to do it from here. We are now in the early stages of establishing a legal foundation. And what does that mean?
We are targeting 100,000 people in the diaspora and Jamaica to donate $100 to this foundation. The foundation will be run by a KPMG or a similar firm, so that no thieving can go on, right? And we will have governors from different diaspora areas. Issues like this that I'm fighting on my own, they will take up the gauntlet to fight these issues. There will also be a PR firm. So, for example, donor funds will get missing, right? From donor agencies and donor countries. We will be able to do PR work with those people and bring the forces to bear so that the poor people in Jamaica get the money where they're supposed to get. Jamaica gets $750 million from IDB, IMF, and the World Bank for COVID for two communities, business and at-risk communities. Ask how many people in the at-risk communities how much money them get. Because what happened, the government set up a scheme where you have to have internet, you have to have a password, you have to have this, you have to. How much country people have people in Kingston now have access to that kind of technology? And where did the money go? Where did the money go? These
so you're asking for a special audit. Oh, that is where the class action coming from. Jamaica. I tell you, I can set the rat trap and tell you, the 750 million that was donated to Jamaica. That is where the class action.
No, hold on, Andre, let me stop you right there. So it's not a gift. It's a loan. So guess what? Even people who were supposed to get money and didn't get money, they and their children and grandchildren will have to pay back this loan. Now tell me if something can't be so wicked. Tell me if something can't be so wicked. Them send money for vulnerable communities, poor people. You don't get it. But with the GCT and this tax and that the tax, you're going to have to pay back that money. It's not a gift. It's not a grant. It's a loan. Approximately $750 million.
Mr. Rattigan. So you're carrying Mrs. Kamina Johnson Smith, hoping the declarations will be made and the details be made to the public. And pursuant to that, you say there is another set of things to be proceeded on or with. But I want you to give, before I open the phone lines, because tonight I tell you that the phone lines are going to burn up in this country. Burn up. Mr. Rattigan, can you give your closing remarks in the interest of what you're about and what you seek to do?
My closing remarks, I've made it, at least the opening, I've said it twice. The truth must not only be the truth, but the truth must be told. We need good governance in Jamaica. We need when a government gets up, any government gets up and says, within the first 100 days, these are the things we are going to do. We expect, we hope that our government will bring those promises to fruition. Not 7 years later, we still haven't seen the evidence of it being completed.
So you're saying you don't see any. I want to answer this question. Sorry. So you're saying there's no legacy of the Holness administration? Listen,
the Prime Minister gave a speech at the church that's located at Washington Boulevard, and I think is what I street the name again, near Sandy Gully, Mullines Road. He gave a speech there, and he choked up. He was talking about crime, and I don't know if it was real or contrived, the fact that he was choking up. But he said, I'm paraphrasing what he said. He said, I no longer care about popularity. I care about legacy. And I said to myself, what kind of nonsense is this? You're a young man. You're supposed to be a leader. And you're talking about legacy? Legacy is for the historians to write about you when you're gone and say, well, this man was a good man. This is what he did. And blah, 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 blah. Not you concerned about legacy. You should be concerned about the people and delivering services. Legacy? No.
Well, Mr. Rattigan, I will say to you, you will get a chance to come back to this platform.
I'm looking forward to it, sir.
You will get a chance to come back to this platform.
And you have to bring on Herb Nelson.
I'm sure Mr. Nelson will be coming. Don't worry.
Okay.
Mr. Stevens and his team responds in the right time.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, months, Andre, bring on Mr. Rattigan. But I don't move until the universe, the ancestors, and my God says, now is the time. TikTok, goodbye. I need to use this phone line. If you want to continue to watch me tonight, TikTok, come over to my YouTube. The calls will be very interesting tonight. Goodbye, TikTok. Yes, Jamaica. We are now at that juncture where the Lord Jesus, what kind of bangarang is this on me? What kind of bangarang is this on me tonight? Mr. Forbes, can you pin the phone lines, please? Possibly when he's asleep.
Oh, and by the way, somebody just notified me. They said that when you're talking about the Minister Vaz's visa and who supported him and all of this stuff, the name of the U.S. ambassador to Jamaica,
Mr. Tapia.
Right? Yeah, he was the one who supported
him. Come on, my students, no foolish arguments tonight. Solid arguments tonight. You all have a minute, no more than that, to make, and I get straight to the point tonight. I don't want any long discussions. To the point, Jamaica. And I'm not going beyond a half hour, so we will be finished by 11, which will be 12 o'clock, Mr. Rattigan's time. No calls tonight. Wow. Seems as though everybody is deep in the lecture.
That's what you know, you do a good job. You cover all the bases.
Hello, welcome to the program. Hello, welcome to the program. Good night, welcome to the program.
Andre, good night. Good night, Mr. Rattigan.
Get to the point, caller.
Okay, Andre, I just wanted to know that when the COVID vaccines were being given out, there was a point in time when Mr. Thompson asked persons over 60 to take the vaccine, and he's going to give all of those persons $10,000. I have not received mine to date. And I didn't know what channel I should have gone to get that $10,000. So right now the government is giving me that $10,000 for taking the vaccine over 60 years of 60 and over.
Well, I am sure Minister Tufton one of these days should be in this classroom, and you can ask him those pressing questions. They can't ignore this program anymore, you know. This is the most talked about program in Jamaica and the diaspora. No other program in Jamaica and the diaspora is as big as this one. All right? So I'm sure the well-learned Minister of Health and Wellness will be able to answer that question one day.
The first time when they were giving out that $10,000 through the Western Union and stuff, when I signed up, they didn't give me that $10,000 either.
Okay, so you said them owe you 20,000.
So they really owe me 20,000.
Well, hopefully your partner draw is there in a chest. All right?
I hope I can take out a lawsuit on them to get my $20,000.
Well, let us see what Mr. Rattigan, the diaspora, they come with, okay?
I'd love to speak to Mr. Rattigan in that respect.
Okay, be blessed. Come on, students. Come on, man. Come on, come on, come on. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Yes, sir, to the point. Thank you.
Question to you. With the crime as it is in Jamaica, will you think if the government and the lead by the citizens to arm themselves, you think they can assist themselves? Because security force can be everywhere. Give citizens a chance to defend themselves to acquire a firearm. You think that could help?
Having firearms in Jamaica more and in large scales doesn't have assist Jamaica's crime plan? Fire, I'm going to ask you this question. There's an arms race in the United States where a lot of persons do have guns. Is there evidence or documentary evidence to suggest that where there are greater guns access, there are lower levels of crime? Answer that question.
The control of the gun.
Yes, but I'm saying to you tonight, my friend, if you don't have a society that is leveled up, a society that is mature, think about it. Think about in the context of Jamaica. Think about, no caller, I'm going to ask you again. In the context of Jamaica, if everybody has a gun and the country already doesn't understand the importance of conflict resolution, can you imagine the kind of chaos that will be in our country? Think about that.
Okay.
All right? Thank you.
I want you to do a research.
No, you do the research. You do the research. Caller. It is as simple matter as that. Simple matter as that. Many Jamaicans don't understand conflict resolution. We have had numerous cases of persons with licensed firearms in this country who abuse their guns. Can you imagine if more had the access to guns? The kind of anarchy that would have plagued Jamaica.
That is a discussion.
I have to take some other calls tonight, but thank you for your contribution. Hello, good night, welcome. Hello?
Good night, teacher.
Yes, get to the point, please.
Yes.
The people taking too long to get to the point. Hello, turn off the phone. Jesus. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Welcome to the program.
Good night, Andre.
To the point, please.
That lady that's called up. First of all, you should keep thinking of that.
Darling, I am not entertaining a discussion fulsome about the vaccine tonight, okay? We're getting full in discussions about the nation's issues, not vaccines tonight. Another night we take that on. Thank you. Hello, good night. Welcome to the program.
Hi, good evening. Can I tell you, Audrey, and Mr. Rattigan, how very pleased I am about tonight's program. Every time I hear Mr. Rattigan, I am so pleased that there's a Jamaican and there's a group out there in the diaspora who's working for this country. How can those of us here be a part of that? Because not only them, but we here are tired of the arms out and tired of the foolishness. We want a better Jamaica. We can be a better Jamaica. How can we be of help?
Well, the only way to be of help at this point is to make sure that you're fully enumerated. Would you agree, Mr. Rattigan?
We are.
Because the power of the vote, I'm going to be doing a series on the power of the vote very soon.
Thank you. But thank you, Mr. Rattigan. Really, really appreciate you. Every time
You're welcome.
I hear you, I'm hard. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, my dear. Hello, good night. Welcome to the program.
Good night.
Yes, get to the point, please, and thank you.
Yes, good night, Mr. Rattigan.
Good night.
That you're a no-nonsense type of person.
No, one question tonight. One question tonight. One question. Your most.
Of the Commissioner of Police.
What is your question tonight?
Has Mr. Rattigan, has he ever applied for the position of the Commissioner of Police in Jamaica?
On the world, go back to the beginning of the program. Mr. Rattigan applied 3 times for the Commissioner of Police. On all occasions, he was never shortlisted for such, okay? Yeah, man. Thank you. Hello, good night. Welcome to the program.
Hi, good night. Good night, Andre. Good night, Mr. Rattigan.
Yes, darling. Welcome to the program. Get strictly to the point.
All right. Mr. Rattigan, I've been watching the program and I've been listening to you. You're a much older person than me, but by listening to your reasoning and answering these things together, it just sums up everything to me in terms of one, I did not know that this JFP government was somewhat dishonest in every way.
So you don't hear I talk about it every night. You don't hear how I talk about the dishonesty of this government every night. So why are you going to say that you are not aware?
No, why I said that I've never voted. I've always heard about JLP, but sometimes you have to get the proof in the pudding.
And that's why I'm saying, haven't you been hearing about all of this through different platforms, including mine?
Andre, let me tell you something. You see when me here, may I tell you, me need some of them pampers the way you put up.
Why you need the pampers?
You know why? Because them wicked to the core. When me tell you when me area talk about them, me I tell you, it shook me. I mean, I lose no sleep over them, but the best thing about it is that people in the diaspora remember we Jamaican people that are paying taxes, and they are taking our taxes and put it in their pocket. And that made me angry to the point that they declare something. Him come in front of me and talk. When I listen to CBJ, when I listen to none of them program there, who do me listen to? I can't believe them so wicked. And at the end of the day, them talk about them a picnic and then sleep at night. Oh, my love, and then when them come out, them want to come forth. I've never voted, but now is the time. Never tell people say it's time to vote. It's time to do everything, especially when we have kids. So many taxes. We want coffee. We don't have a light. We don't have nothing. One man want kill we. We can't sleep if we don't open. And it's a class where you want to come out and say, boy, listen. So you can't get a vote and get many votes. I'm a start that. I'm a sit by success. Yes? So I listen to Mr. Rattigan reading and all of this. We as first people need to look in ourselves and say, oh, we have voted for. Oh, we have put in. Who is here standing for us?
Yes.
You understand me? So Mr. Rattigan, you're doing a good job. Andre, you're doing a good job. But what me want to see? I want to really want some. Rattigan, Andre, the whole I want to see to come together. Put aside differences and come together and rock them.
I have no difference.
Them will never put them in our power. Who wants them to prison to poor people money? You think I look at that time, them talk about them, we can put them up here. How much you have seen our mountain? How much you have seen our mackerel? How much people can't even buy a skin and mackerel? $250 for a pound of sugar. How much people can't buy a pound of sugar? And then when you take it out, you take $750 million. And for five, the big truck them when they have a sentence of park up, funding up the Catholic country. And then you come into us, the papa of the right, you come spread up the body and kill ya. And then come and eat. You have to, you spend almost $50 million to buy garbage truck and them can't go in that reverse, now go forward, now backward. And garbage can't pick up. But garbage can't pick up and I'm going to pay taxes. So where am I going to tell me? And the man when you miss that information, at least some of them photos to put over your face. Yes? And you can go check my number and come to me. Because me have company you and the whole woman when I'm going to come. So you can go check and read the when I'm going to come. Me not afraid I don't know. On the dance song. On the labor rights on the dance song. I'm not afraid to talk. I'm not put them out there for myself. I'm not going to vote yet. But me are tell you say, now is the time we're going to vote. Now is the time we're going to stand with the people that we stand for. Now is the time we're going to stand for the people that for you to grab with the right information. We don't want to miss information. That's why we don't want TDJ, or we don't want TDM, or we don't listen to Observer, or we don't listen to
Nationwide.
We don't listen to them. Because guess what? They most realize. I don't want to support people money. Yes. I don't want to support people money. So Mr. Rattigan, please, me a beg you. Tell Mr. Lawlessness, tell Mr. Herb, and tell Mr. Jeffrey Tavares, and the rest of them in the diaspora. We need them more than old people for water, because guess what? We too lot of water. We too lot of water, and the top of them will answer after enough for water. Because there's no hospital to the line of the hospital.
But me I go say this to you. Me I go say this to you. I hear your concern and I hear your calls. Me I go say this to your caller as you finish up. I have no issue with nobody. Wayne Lonesome upset with me, but I'm not upset with Mr. Wayne Lonesome. If Wayne Lonesome call me tomorrow and say, Andre, let us do something in the interest of Jamaica, I'm putting my differences aside to build back Jamaica. All right? Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Guess what?
Mhm.
Each king comes with text. One from each king comes with text. Water out the text. And we have put it together right on the phone.
All right,
Yeah?
my darling. Bless you.
So, good night. The best thing for the car, guess what?
All right. All right, my darling. Jesus, Mr. Rattigan, I want to start up in the night. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Well put together program, bro.
You love the program tonight?
Yes, man. One from East Rural.
East Rural. Oh, the man from East Rural was saying I'm going to fire Juliet.
Yeah, said one.
Oh, Jesus. No. Feel the pressure.
Yeah, man. Tell it to don't job at the lawsuit, man. Continue with the lawsuit, man. Don't make an apology, man.
All right, my brother. Blessings, blessings. So you say pressure. When the pressure come in. All right, blessings. Hello, good night. You only have 1 minute tonight. 1 minute.
Hello.
You only have 1 minute tonight. Is where I'm there. Hello, good night.
Yeah, blessing.
Yes, you have 1 minute, short and spicy.
Hey, you can't tell Mr. Rattigan saying can apply and I will get the third term, you know.
Which third term?
JLP third term, because remember, greatest government in history.
What you just said?
The greatest administration in history of Jamaica.
So you're living in delusion or what?
Yeah, man. 250,000 new jobs.
Where is the jobs? Are those people having livable income, sir? How much of them can buy? How much of them can buy a bread?
Increase minimum wage by 110%.
Sir. Hear the delusional labor right, Jamaica. Hear the delusional labor right. Greatest government in history. Greatest way, sir.
100.
Greatest way. When you have 12,600 people, almost 10,000 people killed, graveyard and cemeteries. The teachers can't get good pay. You can't have good infrastructure. Hospitals don't have bed. Hospitals don't have the toiletries and the medication to give people. Where in this history? Where in this history are talking about best government?
600 police station.
Where? And you have police station with near 70 million ton per police station and police station can't use that.
Increase the police force by 4,000 manpower.
And how much police resigning yearly? 600, 700? What you talking about?
Unemployment the lowest in history.
And how much of those people who are unemployed have a livable wage, sir?
$40 billion.
40 billion what?
To fix local roads.
Where are those roads that we have the most potholes in this country? When you have the bridge down and over, it's you're countering everyone you're talking tonight.
And remember to complete and hold 2 highways.
What which you complete and hold? Yeah?
It told from Maple to Mandeville and we own that.
Oh.
Make a government build that.
And what else? Which are the highway you build?
The highway expansion from Maple roundabout.
And you're talking about the tax overruns of monies being spent on highways. Mr. Gentleman. Me have to come better. You really want me to come better? Wait till election time. You're going to see I'm turn it up. I'm going to turn it up and down. What you must go do is go find a new leader, because when I done with him election period.
You cannot hurt this guy.
Oh, I can't hurt him. No, I don't hurt people. I don't hurt people.
You can't dig him out of power.
I'm not going to dig him out. The Holy Spirit from up above going to make sure him give divine intervention and take out the destruction. Good night. Good night. Good night. Welcome.
Good night, Andrea. Good night, Mr. Rattigan.
Wait to the point, my darling.
Pampas, and pampas. Small, medium, and large. Let them in bongo.
What you say, darling? Pampas and pampas. Small, medium, and large. Get them at button. Hello. Good night. Over, come on. Tell that labor right. Just fix that labor right to me tonight.
Professor John, no. Me am going to get on. Stick with the 1 minute. So, Mr. Rattigan. Professor, me just can't tell it on. You know, me friend tell you a very good vote of thanks, man. What make the labor right man come on the program tonight with him said. You know, Professor, me just upset, you know, man. Ciao. Mr. Rattigan, good night, sir. Thank you so very much, sir, for coming on our program tonight. On the Partner Draw TV on behalf of myself, Andre, Stephen, Wayne, my over 7,000 classmates. So we thank you for giving us an eye-opener tonight. Man, the pressure teeth and I am bed. What is wrong with this man? Silly man. Thank you, Mr. Rattigan.
All right, Overcome. I love you. Hello, good night.
Yeah, I just want to call in quick and talk about the call center work. And then when they talk about 200 jobs, the $2 US hour, $2 US dollar.
What is about the call center? But it's the lowest unemployment rate.
No, but even if you might come with some call center work, if in the US, the minimum you get a $13. Get the people in the call center get what? $2. To the 10 times the work. $2. And I'm talk about progress. Progress, you give $2 for $13 worth of work.
Oh Lord.
That makes sense.
The man says you not get employment. That's why I ask him tonight. Are Jamaicans having livable wages?
Yes, $2 US. For $13 minimum. Minimum, they might get paid in America $13. We have $2 for the $13 there. And they might talk about progress. How can that progress is far?
Remember, I asked you to you have your voter's ID?
With an accent where them can understand. And the same, I even create a service now with the Americans to get. We are the outer. Yes, we are get $2.
You have your voter's ID?
No, vote.
I'm going to ask you to do something for me tonight.
Voting is an illusion.
No, I'm going to ask you. We promise to be the vanguards to hold Jamaica together.
None of them no better. At the end of the day, it's an illusion, the whole of them.
All right. Bless up your ear. I hope over time I can change your position to vote, okay? All right, bless you. Is what is this wicked man start up in the country tonight? Lord Jesus. Hello, good night, at topic. I know you want to respond to the man. Just give it to it. At topic?
Come on there. We don't even know what's about to address Mr. Rattigan. But I've always seen you on Win Lonesome's program, and it is very good to see you on Partner Draw tonight. You know, you're a credible person, somebody that a lot of Jamaicans look up to. And we ask you to continue doing that. But Mr. Rattigan, you as a person who grew up in Jamaica, you were born and raised in Jamaica in the volatile community, you know, Bay Farm Road, Penwood Road, the whole area. You migrated and went abroad and, you know, prayer. Now, you were keeping your ears in Jamaica during that time, socially, economically, and politically. And I want to ask you one question, Mr. Rattigan. Have you ever heard so many...
Have you ever heard so many people what? Have you ever heard so many people what? Jesus. Have you heard so many people what?
Corruption that is going on. I want to ask Rattigan, has he ever, in all his years listening to the politics
in all your years listening to the politics in Jamaica,
rage at a government and a prime minister before, like this one?
Well, let me just say that the corruption spans both sides of the aisle. no party is free from the corruption element. But I have to agree with you in the sense that what I'm seeing now, what I'm witnessing, is something that I've never seen before. We're seeing crimes being committed on a scale and on a level, and it's so blatant. It's right in front of your eyes.
So,
And
Mr. Rattigan, so you're basically saying tonight is the worst Jamaica has been.
When you talk about
All right, murder. Thank you for that. You hear? Yeah, I can't give you a counter response tonight, murder.
One thing, Peter. One thing. The Prime Minister said 5 in 4 failure. The Prime
Jesus.
failed promising. He promised fixed terms to Prime Minister's failed promises. The two are the things that he said he has failed on.
Thank you for that perspective. Thank you for all of that perspective. All right?
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Jamaica, my phone is off the hook. Jesus. I don't know who I'm going to. Hello.
Hi, Andre. Good night.
Yes.
I appreciate your program so much tonight, even though I don't live in Jamaica. But there is so much information that Jamaicans need to know what is going on in our country. Because if it wasn't for your program, I would not know that all these things are happening in my little country.
Well, I'm happy tonight, Mommy. I know you're listening in Connecticut, and I'm happy that you're being informed. All right? Thank you so much. No, nobody cuss him. Nobody cuss him.
No, you forget extra large pampers too. You know, only one small, medium, and large. Because he must think to get up every day and eat chicken back a good living. Make him go in my idiot.
Darling, they can't afford chicken back now. They cannot afford it.
He better go and see, go catch Georgia crab and eat it.
All right, me bono no nose. Jesus. Why this man start up tonight for make you all of the people them? Hello.
Hi, Andre. This is your visually impaired friend.
Yes.
I love what is happening tonight. Good night, Mr. Rattigan. Good night. Yes, Andre, what I love, I want to let you know is that 1 tin of milk is $400. And I want Mr. Rattigan to answer a question. What happened when the money came for the persons with disability? They allocate $20 million about February and says persons with disability should get 20,000. Now we are hearing now in April that it's only 1,000 persons going to get it, and they are all not qualified. So these are the things that we are facing. And if you look in the street, Andre, you have a lot of disabled persons. They just are so mendicant. They are just suffering. People are just suffering in this country. I'm telling you, when I hear tonight, I can't go to my bed unless I call you, because these things, I want him to search in the organization that says they are representing persons with disability, and we voted, right? All
right, Mr. Rattigan, you know about the disabilities funds, what happened with that?
No, specifically, no, but what I can tell you is that we have a lot of donor funds coming to Jamaica from the EU, the US, the UK, Canada. You're not hearing me?
Go back to the program call and listen, all right?
All right, thank you, Andre.
Yeah, but Andre, let me just say one quick thing, right? And that is this, that the promises made by the Prime Minister, when he came last year with the police commissioner to visit with law enforcement in Washington, D.C., they had a town hall meeting, and Jeffrey Tavares asked him this question. Jeffrey Tavares asked him about term limits, and he said, "Look, in 2016, you said you're gonna put legislation so that we can limit the term limits for Prime Minister." And now here it is that we're 2022 and we haven't heard anything. And you know what his response was? His response was that it was in the manifesto for 2016, but it wasn't in the manifesto for 2020. So the question I want to ask the Prime Minister is, why was it so important to be in the manifesto in 2016, but not 2020? What happened between 2016 and 2020?
Because didn't you hear Mr. Rattigan? the wife of the Prime Minister in November said that the Wholeness Plan will rule for 20 years.
I didn't hear that.
You never heard she said the JLP will be in power for 20 years. You never heard that.
Well, I tell you what, that's why I'm saying.
And that is why I'm going to ask you, don't you understand the political ideology that the Wholenesses are ruling under? Peronism.
But here's the thing. The thing is, at the end of the day, that's why I like this program. No, I love this program, love the other programs as well, because what we're doing, we're taking the scales off of people's eyes. And we're saying to them, when you vote, as I've always said, don't vote for a party and don't vote for politics. Vote the bread and butter issues. Vote for somebody who's going to provide schools for your picnic them, provide jobs for you, roads, electricity, water, housing, right? Health. Vote for somebody like that. And if you have a parliamentarian who has been representing you for 10 years, whatever, and you still in the same position as when he first started, then something wrong with you if you vote for him again or her again. Something wrong with you. So this thing about Wholeness trying to set up a legacy where, you know, with all due respect, the right honorable Prime Minister set up a legacy where he'll be in power for a long time. His ability to stay in power is determined by who? Not by him, by the voters. And if people will just refuse to accept the pittance that they come into possession of during election time, then that will send a message. If you can refuse to take the $5,000 and the T-shirt and the two-piece the chicken and the obligatory, if you refuse to do that, because what you're doing is that your vote is not for the past, your vote is for the present and the future, meaning you pick them. And if you vote, take $5,000 for vote, how long $5,000 can feed you for? How long? And another thing is this. Look at what's going on. Look at the trend. Politicians, they've been doing it for a while, but now it's even more patently observable. What they do is they're grooming their children, their wives, their friends to
family business.
Them. Yeah, and that cannot be. You can't tell me say you don't have a man in a ghetto who have the ability to be a member of parliament. When was the last time you hear a member of parliament say, listen, in my Garrison community, I go and pick 2 or 3 people and I go and mentor them. I go and take them to parliament with me, let them see how laws are made, let them make contacts with people, let them understand the whole system so that one day they can be leaders of their community.
Let me take another call, Mr. Rattigan. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, host. And,
yes, to the point, caller.
My question, if Mrs. Johnson is saying that Mr. Rattigan document file is baseless, why can't us get the truth of what it is?
Well, her lawyer will be in the court.
The person that Mr. Rattigan bring forth these information in front of the court will come to know these information, the truth to this information.
Well, when is court, Mr. Rattigan? Because we want her to be
May 29th at 12 noon.
May 29, 12 noon will be court date, all right? So let us see what comes out of the case then.
Okay.
All right.
And hopefully we'll get responses from the Integrity Commission and the Tax Administration before then.
Before then.
Yes.
Greg Christie and Commissioner of Tax Admin, please respond to Mr. Rattigan. Turn off the TV. Yes. Get to the point, my darling.
Good night, Mr. Rattigan. Welcome to Pothole TV.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thanks for all the information that you have given us in your earlier speech, and it was really enlightening. Andre, that labor right, that inner ambition, is somebody to give him all that information. So he called you and was reading them straight. Notice his factory of telling you what the government achieved. And somebody call him and give him it or text it to him. But in I read them off one here.
And you see how I just rebutted everyone and counter-claim everyone, right?
Exactly. Exactly. But you can't somebody giving them time coming down the line with them. So somebody giving them. So about him not ambition.
All right, my love. Yes. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man. It's the first time listening to your program, and it is so interesting because it's from over. Listen, why I don't like how Jamaica runs, and I appreciate what you're doing. Believe.
Well, I hope you subscribe to the channel because we're here every night except on a Saturday night. And you get the unfiltered truth from this platform.
So, they know the Prime Minister. There was an announcement that the Prime Minister should be arrested. What is that?
Prime Minister should be what? I'm not aware the Prime Minister. Or you're talking about the implications in the Integrity Commission's report?
Absolutely.
Well, the Director of Public Prosecute. No. The person within the Integrity Commission said that there was no basis for him to be arrested. All right?
Okay. But Mr. Rattigan, no. You know, something that... Anyway.
Well, here is what. This is a series of eye-opener that is going to continue. All right? So let us see. All right, my brother. Thank you. Call and remember to subscribe first.
Can I say something, Andrea? All right. What the corruption prosecutor actually said was that for I think 2 or 3 charges there wasn't enough evidence, but for one charge there was enough evidence to bring it, but she wouldn't bring it because of abuse of process. What does abuse of process mean? I've asked all kinds of people, and what I'm getting is that it means that there was a time lapse. Well, guess what? There is no statute of limitations for corruption in Jamaica. So she should have done it. Now, if you go to Section 34 of the Integrity Commission Act of 2017, Section 34, subsection 4, it says, without prejudice to the provisions of subsection 1A, and I'll tell you what 1A is. The Director of Corruption Prosecution may, acting on his own volition or upon the request of the Commission, request an opinion from the Director of Public, from the DPP, as to whether or not to initiate criminal proceedings in respect of any matter that has been referred to him under this Act or any other enactment or on a point of law. Here's what this means, people. This means that first of all, if you go back to the Constitution, that's what subsection 1A was referring to. The premier prosecutor in Jamaica is the DPP, and that's section 94 of the Constitution. What should have happened, and I don't know why the Commission didn't do it, section 4 granted the Commission the right to say to the corruption prosecutor, we need you to go to the DPP and get an opinion. We're not satisfied with your opinion. The Commission didn't do it. Didn't do it. And should have done it. Section 4 is quite clear. The corruption prosecutor could have gone to the DPP and should have gone to the DPP and said, listen, this case is of such magnitude that it requires an opinion of the premier prosecutor in the country. So I'm going to leave it on your desk, and you make a determination. The idea that you refuse to prosecute a case because of abuse of process, meaning that the length of time it took to bring the case to the Parliament, is nonsense. Because you know what the prosecutor just did? Just gave all of those people on the investigation for more than 3, 4, 5 years to come along and say abuse of process because you did it for the Prime Minister. You said you have enough evidence to prosecute him, but you're not going to do it because of abuse of process.
Mr. Rattigan, that is for another discussion.
Okay.
Let us not wake up and more ansness tonight.
Okay.
I'm trying my very best to end the program. No. I will say thank you on behalf of all the callers. Hold a second. This is my final call for the night. Hello, Shernette. I want us. Yes, Shernette.
Hi, teacher. Good night. Good night, Mr. Rattigan.
Quick, Shernette. Quick. Just get to the point, my darling.
Thank you for the information provided. Okay, first, I'd like to address the GLP person that just called in. Yes, I agree with him that the Prime Minister is the best corruption, best for cover-up, best for murder. Yes, he is the best. And I can go on and on. Time has limited me, so yes, he's the best as it relates to those. The reason why unemployment in Jamaica is so low, as he stated, the unemployment in Jamaica is so low because you have to remember half of the Jamaicans are leaving Jamaica. As such, they're not filing for unemployment. They're leaving Jamaica. They're trying to climb the walls in Mexico, remember. So that's why unemployment is so low. You can find the Jamaicans by the wall in Mexico trying to climb over. Now, Dr. Locke told us that in the summertime about the table from the United States that was sent to the United States Embassy. Now, Mr. Rattigan again tonight reassures and reconfirmed that there was indeed a cable sent regarding the Minister of National Security. Now, Andrew Holness, knowing this, still has this man as the Minister of National Security. And we are wondering why Jamaica is in the situation it is in. As we said, corruption and dirty water flow from top down. Everything that the country, that affects the country, and every side effect and every symptom the country has is coming from the top. Him knowingly, and I've always said it, and it was said last night as well, that the Minister of Finance, Minister of Security, and a lot of people that sit in power, they're just figureheads, face cards, face holders. They have no power, no authority to do anything. It's as if Prime Minister is paying them favors for what they have done for him. So I applaud you, Mr. Rattigan. Please go ahead and don't back up with the lawsuit. And I'm sure you will find out that she has forgotten to file her taxes and that she has neglected to inform them. I'm sure without any shadow of a doubt that she has omitted to do all these. That's what I have to say to tonight.
Thank you,
Please
Jeanette.
go ahead and forward. Still, we're behind you. Enough is enough, and that's what we have been preaching. And I'm so glad, Andre, that you can see that there are more that are standing, and we want to get this thing over and done with. Enough corruption. Enough is enough.
Bless you, my dear.
Andre, let me just say one quick thing
Thank you.
before we go. The person who claims that the JLP is the best party ever for Jamaica. Just one stat I want to give him. Just one stat.
Hold a second.
Just one
yes,
stat.
Mr.
Just one stat. It was reported last year, I think last year, early this year, that 2 million Jamaicans cannot eat a nutritious meal a day time. 2 million. Let
that sink in. Let that sink in, right? Hello, good night. Quick point, caller. Quick point.
The local government election as passed, right? They didn't have it. So what's your take on that?
No, caller.
I don't think they should be in that capacity.
Caller. Mr. Rattigan will be back so we can ask those questions because that is going to open up another can of worms. You understand? Okay. Not tonight. All right?
All right.
Thank you. Jamaica, on behalf of my team, Mr. Wilfred Rattigan, we appreciate you being here tonight.
My pleasure.
Having spent almost 3 hours with me in studio. And I'm sure we will have a series of discussions going forward.
Looking forward to it.
Remember, Jamaica, you can find him on YouTube at Reasoning with Rattigan.
And also you can see me on Reggae Global Radio, 3 p.m. New York time every Saturday. Reggae Global Radio, 3 p.m. New York time every Saturday. And by the way, I play music midnight, 11 o'clock Jamaica time till 1 o'clock Jamaica time on the same radio station. So if you're in a lover's mood, tune into Reggae Global Radio tomorrow at 11 o'clock Jamaica time, midnight here in New York time.
So Jamaica, thank again, Mr. Rattigan, for being on this platform. And we will certainly have you back.
Thank you very much, sir.
That is where we have the program tonight, Jamaica. We appreciate. Mr. Rattigan, you can exit.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out right.
Okay. We appreciate Mr. Rattigan being with us tonight, Jamaica. It was an informative class. Did you appreciate tonight's show? And Jamaica, some callers might say, boy, Andre, you are a bit harsh to the callers. You see, when you're having a prime show, you have to have the calling being synchronized with what you aim to achieve for the show. So for those who possibly were offended,
I want to say good night to everyone who tuned in to watch the program with my good friend Wilfred Rattigan and also with Andre Stevenson. Thank you all very much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Until you hear our voice again, may God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Let us continue the fight for a better Jamaica and for our people. Have a good night, everyone. Good night.